it. And here's Bob Cole. Bureau is number 11, and he'll start at center ice for Minnesota. And Ron Francis, number 9, comes to center ice for Pittsburgh.
Oh, so they talk about a noisy hockey rink. This takes the cake. Murphy trying to silence his crowd early, dumps it in for Pittsburgh. Churla in the lineup tonight, cleared it, and took a check from Roberts. Wilkinson moving up. The defensemen like to do that here for Minnesota. Crashing into the boards, 2 North Stars, Bureau and Churla. Murphy watched by Bureau. Stevens bumped. Pittsburgh's Francis moved it in to Mullen, but he was in ahead of the play, offside. There's another factor. In a game here in Bloomington, it's tough to hear the whistles, and that's not just me talking. The players sometimes can't hear it.
Well, there's the home record at playoff time for Bob Gainey and the Minnesota North Stars. And it's just an incredible turnaround going back to mid-January. I was here one night, fellas, on January 15th. Montreal played them. 5,000 people here. North Stars lost 5-1. They were going nowhere. Since then, they have only lost twice on home ice. Bob Gainey trying to become the 13th man to play and coach on a Stanley Cup winning team.
Harry Crisp being the last fellow that made that accomplishment. And for we younger NHL fans, Al Arbor did it too in recent.
Medina, number 38, has moved in at center ice with Yager on the right side for Pittsburgh. Bill Borton on the left wing. Dallin, Smith, Bellows for Minnesota. Bernardi moving up. Yager sweeping it off the boards and getting it out. Dahlquist cleared it back in. Pittsburgh moving it. Pass goes in to Yager. He hands it off. Now here's a shot from close in. And another from the line block. Yager's backhanders. He was decked. Weak shot. He took a hard hit trying to get that shot away. Yager again. Had the pass intercepted. And it's all the way back. Jim Pack picked it up, left it back inside the Minnesota line. Casey reaching back. Adano cleared it to the blue line. Bellows got it up to center, a little too far for Bobby Smith. Here's Modano. He's racing in. Modano cutting into the slot. Just sidestepped the hit coming from Erie. That's Gagne centering it. Covering on the net was old Samuelson. Trottier to the right wing with it. Directly moving in. He's in there against Glenn. Erie picks it up in the corner and trying to swing it back. Erie again winds up. The shot stopped by Casey. His first save of the game. Chambers moving up to center. Stopped it in. Gagne! Just missed. And Barrasso was very quick to cover on a rebound. It came off the boards rather quickly. Lively boards here.
Especially if you get it up over the yellow baseboard there.
Here's Erie. Shot deflected high. Gagne trying to get on track. Puck in his skates. Stevens moved it in. Didn't get too far with it. Chambers fell, got back up, and brought the puck across the line. Chambers allowed to skate in with it. Stick handles his way to the left side away from Murphy and put it up behind the goal. Abbott given a bump as he moved up. Jordy Roberts for Pittsburgh can't get it out. It's kept in by Wilkinson into the corner. Broughton. Murphy all over him. Broughton trying to work loose for Murphy and can't. Nearing the 3-minute mark, no score is Stevens. Starts the Penguins away. Pass stopped by Wilkinson, and Broughton turns around with it. Throws it all the way back for Jim Johnson to Broughton again. In for the north side. Johnson rolled it in, and it's offside. You're going to see a lot of this tonight. Offside obvious, but nobody heard the whistle. They kept going.
Every day at Esso, we go to extremes. From desert heat to minus 40. Quality is essential to us. It's a lot of time, and it's a lot of care.
Our gasoline goes through at least 16 different quality control tests. Nothing is left to chance. Quality is too important. From the first tests to the last stop.
At Esso, you can count on all of us for the quality of our products.
Well, there's the Penguins' record and their visits to the Met Center. And this year in the playoffs, Pittsburgh has played 8 games on the road. They've won 5 and lost 3.
3:10 gone in the first period. And no score. High shot. Deflected off the stick to Dahlquist. As Bork let it go. Dumped away, too far from Bureau. Now he has a chance to catch up to it. Pack going back. Cleared it ahead. And another offside at the Pittsburgh blue line.
Well, John Casey, of course, has had a wonderful run here in the playoffs in this year. Listen to him call out instructions to his teammates when the puck's in his own zone. You'll hear comments like reverse it, up the middle, off the glass, dump it out. All instructions he's yelling to his defensemen as he watches the forecheckers close in on him.
If you can hear it tonight, or if his teammates can hear it tonight.
Well, we've already heard a little bit about it. It's not quite as easy when the noise bounced around this building when they had 4,200 here during the season.
Mache won the draw, then lost the chance to move it ahead. Paglianetti back. Coffey has not been on the ice yet. He's in the lineup again for Pittsburgh tonight. Be used on the power play and probably some more.
I talked to Paul today at length before the game, sitting in the seats relaxing, and he said it's power play only, Bob. That's the doctor's instructions. Until it's changed, that situation won't change. So only on the power play will 77 be out there.
Well, with Mario Lemieux not out there tonight, and if you have just joined us, that's the word, Lemieux, a late scratch, and he's not in uniform. It's more pressure on the likes of Mark Recchi, who has a pretty good record going for him in the playoffs this year, following up his season mark of 113 points, which was tops on the Pittsburgh team.
Pointless in the last 2 games. There's Paul Coffey. He watches without the helmet and mask on until he's called upon to jump out there on the power play. He told me he hopes for an early Minnesota penalty so he can get into the game. He waited 18 minutes in game 2 before he got out there and told me his legs felt like they were on upside down.
Back from the blue line, screen shot. Everybody checked in front. Broughton did a pretty good job checking Trottier in front of the net. Now Recchi digging out of the corner. Recchi is around a goal for Pittsburgh. Back to the line. Hack shot deflected over the net again. Duchesne got it out ahead to Broughton. Broughton and Gavin come in. He spins back toward the line. Paglianetti gets it out to center ice. Penguins play it back in. Trottier moving on it. Skated by the puck, and Duchesne couldn't clear it. Now he does. And it's fired back in from center. No score. Nearing the 5-minute mark. First period. This is Chambers. Second rush on the ice for him. Weak shot. Under the glass behind Tom Barrasso. Minnesota trying to force the play in there. Hoping to create a mistake or two. It is cleared again high into the crowd at the far side. And the face-off is going to be back inside the Pittsburgh line.
Fact. The full-size F-Series pickup has more repeat buyers than any other pickup. Fact. F-Series is the best-selling full-size pickup in Canada and has been for 25 years. Fact. F-Series has a higher resale value, higher than Chevy, higher than GMC. Call it leadership. Call it anything you want. The simple fact of the matter is, Ford is number 1. For a limited time, get 8.9% financing at your Ford and Mercury dealers.
Here's the key to advancing in the playoffs this year, or winning a round, win the third game. See the stats there. Been lucky.
Unless you're down 2.
Yeah, well. 5 minutes gone exactly, Bob. The North Stars haven't had a shot yet.
This is exactly what Edmonton did in their game 3 in here. They came in, they were winning 4-1 after 11 minutes. North Stars had 1 shot and banged the bottom out.
Francis came close to stealing the puck in front of Casey. Pittsburgh very spirited. Stevens, centered one. Going to be Dahlen who'll move it out for Minnesota. He'll skate the center with it. Dahlen eluding the hit. Keeps going across the line. It's onside, but he lost it. Got it back. Comes in with Bellows winding up. Also the save. Bounce down in front, and Stevens had it go off his stick. Johnson trying to bring it in. Lost control of it. Penguins shoot it down the ice. Out of the net, Casey. No score. Coming up to 6 minutes of the first. Adano is stopped. Dahlquist moving up. Hits the shot. Barrasso stick save. Loose puck in front of the net. It's cleared by the Penguins. Up the center. Bill Bork. In over the line. He passed in front of Samuelson. Yager has to turn around in the corner. Centered it. Shot deflected wide. Yager up and right in front again. Another wrap on it. Casey made up a reckless save. And the puck is off the magnets. And that will get this crowd on its feet again.
Deep in the woods of Canada, you'll find many indigenous animals. The moose, the wolf, the loon, the beaver, and the skunk. You'll also find genuine Canadian beer. Molson Canadian, what beer's all about.
Well, Phil Bork's had 2 glorious chances to score here in the first 7 minutes of this game, but couldn't find a handle on either occasion.
Trottier won the face-off. Stanton shot it from the blue line. Casey out of the net again, rolling it into the corner on the boards. Broughton picks it up in his own zone. Can't get it out. Penguins forcing the play, but now Broughton got it ahead. To Gavin. Left it for the defenseman. Lynn shot it in. Barrasso stepping behind the net to stop it. There goes Gavin. He steals it. Laid it up behind the goal a second time. Duchesne coming in. Bumping with Stanton. And they hold it on the boards. No further play. 4-3. Shots in favor of the Pens. No score.
Bix, put on a smile.
At Panagopolis, we'd like to give you a Norco Bush Pilot mountain bike. Enter before June 15th for your chance to win one of 80 mountain bikes from Panagopolis.
We bring it on home. Yeah. Bring it on home to you, Panagopolis.
Well, I mentioned that Phil Bork's had 2 glorious chances to put his team ahead. Here's one of them right here. He didn't get the shot through, and on about the second, there's another one right there. The puck's bouncing around, and Bork gets one more shot at it before he's knocked over by Tenorti. And Bork's had 2 of the best chances the Penguins have had early in this game.
Puck is knocked down by Dallin. Too much with it, though, and it's Dahlquist fading back. Trying to hit Bobby Smith with the pass. Pittsburgh bringing it in. Mullen centered it. Francis shot picked up by Casey. On the net, Tenorti. Broken up at center ice again by Pack. He shot it in. Bellows lost it. Gave it away inside his own blue line. Pittsburgh could not take advantage. Here's center. Francis again. Mullen and Stevens. Stevens is bumped. And Mullen is hit hard at the blue line. What a hard hit that was. Here's Dahlen trying to get in there. Pack took it away and backhands the puck off the glass down the ice. Offside that pass to Bobby Smith. First bit of hitting we've seen in the game so far, and I mean hitting.
Joey Mullen was leveled, and Harry, the Pittsburgh bench is really giving it to Frazier because I think they're looking for an interference call. He was not the puck carrier. He had not touched or played the puck, and he was nailed.
Well, Alf Dolan, that's the first body check I've ever seen him throw. And I'm sure that Mullen hopes it's the last. Well, it wasn't Dolan, excuse me. Dolan was standing beside him. It was Dahlquist, Chris Dahlquist, number 4, that hit him. I knew it wasn't Alf Dolan. But you're right, it could have been interference.
Mullen thought it was both. 8 minutes gone in the first. No score. Penguins much room for him to move. He gave it to Phil Bork. Bork around the net, out front. Look out! Can't get a shot. Bork had all kinds of time to get a shot, but for some reason didn't want to take that shot. Yager to Herdina. Blocked. He's after the rebound. Takes a hit, trying to pick it up. Dono hit him and hold it on the boards. It comes loose. Swept away by Wilkinson around the net again. Minnesota moving it out. Long shot in by Gagne. Cleared by the Penguins again. Slapped back by Glenn. Here's Samuelson. Right side to pass. Samuelson was nailed by Churla. McRae takes his man in on the boards. And it's heavyweights for Minnesota are out there and proving they can do it, but I believe a penalty has been called.
Well, McRae and Churla are going to have their sights set on number 5, Al Samuelson, among other players, but he's going to be a target of these two tough wingers for the Minnesota North Stars. Penalties on the play.
Penalty and all through all of that. And Bob Aries in the box.
The adventure of the season is about to begin. This summer, catch the Hawk. That's gotta hurt. Bruce Willis, Danny Aiello, Andy McDowell, Hudson Hawk.
This is not what you think. Well, maybe it is.
Starts Friday at a theater near you. Consult your local listings.
Now there's Bob Aries, a charging call on him here at 9:08, I believe. Now here's Samuelson getting nailed by Churla. Churla and McRae on the ice for the first time, I believe, tonight, and as Harry points out, they've got their thing to do, and they do it. And here's McRae nailing Recchi, who was the target of a lot of hitting in the games in Pittsburgh. Harry gets involved in the act along the boards, and he's gone for 2.
Well, the Minnesota North Star power play has come upon dry times. 1 for 14 in the first 2 games. And if any one thing won them series 1, 2, and 3, it was their power play.
Well, it's a big power play now because it's the first one of the hockey game in a scoreless first period. And the North Stars at home move it in. Crowd anticipating the first goal of the game here. Casey comes out of the net. Gratton is on there with Tenorti, Gagne, Bellows, and they all move in. And that's icing.
Well, I was talking to the Pittsburgh coaching staff, and the key on the power play, in their opinion, and it seems on the penalty killing against the Minnesota power play, is to neutralize Broughton. Make him pass the puck on the rush. Don't let him carry it through the neutral zone and force the North Stars to shoot it in. Tom Barrasso's pretty good with the puck, too, and he intercepts a lot of the shoot-ins. Remember, in this rink, if you try and shoot the puck hard around with the square corners, the puck slows up and the goalie gets nearly every one of them.
Face off to the left of Casey. Prop is the other forward now on the ice for Minnesota. Minute and a half left on the power play. Not a shot yet. They've been down there just once. The puck fired from center ice. It was icing. So, move it in a second time. Prop blocked by Barrasso. And as he holds it, that creates the face-off in the Pittsburgh zone.
Bellows gets his stick up on Phil Bork at the goal crease area. A lot of talk about the ineptness of the power plays, Harry. 1 for 14 Minnesota. The Penguins 2 for 16 through the first 2 games. How about let's hearing it for the penalty killers? Somebody's got to be doing it right.
And you know who the best 2 penalty killers on both teams are? They wear those big square pads and play at one end of the rink. Talking about good penalty killers, you're looking into the eyes of one right there.
Bob Gainey got a great cheer. I don't think I've ever heard a coach get the kind of a cheer he got in all of the pregame introductions that I have sat through many years. Mind you, I was never in Vancouver when the Canucks were introduced. Bob and I missed that. We were talking about that.
It was hard to hear the cheers because I was dodging fish that were coming out of the crowd.
Oh, I see.
Gagne. Lost the face-off to Gillen. Back to the net, Bellows. Gagne was out front. He didn't see him. And now Prop. To Gagne. Low shot. And around another center again. Now to blue line, tipped in front. What a great save by Barrasso. He robbed a goal from number 15, Dave Gagne. He was parked to his right.
Well, Gagne, Prop, and Modano, but especially Prop and Gagne, have had a tough time in this series. And here's a chance that Gagne had earlier, couldn't get anything on it. Now he tries to tip one, but the point shot is so slow that he can't tip it and keep the speed of the shot up. And it was a nice sprawling save by Tom Barrasso to take that opportunity away from a struggling Dave Gagne, who may have been the North Stars' best forward in 1-2-3 series.
1 minute left on the power play. No score. First period. Just over the 10-minute mark. Minnesota passing it around. A shot from the line doesn't get very far. It's blocked by Brockenball. They fail to clear. Bellows. Side of the net with it. Bellows again. Now he has to go to the corner. Now behind the net for Prop. Prop trying to center it. Can't. He's stopped by Roberts. Kick loose to Bellows. Bellows from the other side. They gang up on him. Pittsburgh a chance to clear. Mullen slapped at it. It's stopped by Tenorti, and here's Gagne again. Gagne lost it. Tenorti got it, but it's cleared away down on the left side. And here's a break on that far wing. Mullen went offside, reaching back for the pass.
Well, the other player that the Pittsburgh Penguin coaching staff felt they did a good job on in Game 2, other than Broughton on the Minnesota power play, was Mark Tenorti. They didn't let the Minnesota defensemen get into the rush nearly as often, and they certainly didn't allow Tenorti to go to the net and hammer the goaltender like he did so often in Game 1. So part of the Penguin strategy against the North Stars, the key guy Broughton on the power play, the key player Tenorti on defense.
15 seconds left in that penalty to Bob Erie. Pittsburgh has escaped the Minnesota power play so far. Bobby Smith, Nolan to his right. Tried to poke it in for Nolan, but they did not do it fairly. They'll have to line up again.
The one advantage the Penguins have, but we better not forget this, they played 50 games without Mario Lemieux and finished first in their division. So it's not good news, but it's not strange news. They managed to win a lot of big hockey games without Big 66 helping them.
9:07 left from the opening period. Chambers going to move it out for Minnesota. Goes to his defense partner. He's on the point. Modano, and he's going in front of the net now. And the pass doesn't get to him. It's centered now. Here's a backhand shot, and Barrasso got his left arm up. Penalty is over. Erie is on the ice. So they've killed it off. Although Minnesota came close right there. Just before Erie stepped in the penalty box. Two players hold it in on the boards. It comes loose for Samuelson. He gets it ahead. Tipped out across the line. Smith coming back to Chambers. Through the middle, the North Stars move it in. Modano, he couldn't wait. Another stride or two. It would have been onside had he just held on to it, but he went in. Offside call.
Okay, stay with me here. This is a tire. This is a tune-up. Your Goodyear certified auto service retailer does both, and very well, I might add. So, if you say tire, he'll show you one of these. If you say tune-up, he'll hook your car up to this. you know, whatever this is. But don't worry, he knows what it is, and isn't that the important thing here?
From tune-ups to tires, Goodyear takes you home.
I'd take you home, but, you know, I'm getting a tune-up and a tire.
There are signs galore in this building tonight. I don't think our boys will have time to show them all over the place.
One of the good signs for the Pittsburgh Penguins is they're by the first half of the first period without getting behind. The North Stars have been so much better when they're ahead here at the Met Center than when they're even or behind.
That's Gordy Roberts in behind the zone net for Pittsburgh. Edmonds it to Herdina. He just got rid of it from center ice. Herdina went after it a second time. Jim Johnson starts it out to Wolfenson. Left it in over the line, right to Roberts, though. He gave it to Phil Bourque. And Herdina comes up with Murphy chopping it in right on the net, and Casey slapped it away. He likes to move it. Prop. Lost to the Yager. Yager's coming in and around the net he goes. Backhand shot. Waits through the crease. Murphy at the point. Winds up. Traffic in front. Shot. Blocked by Prop. He got it out. 2-on-1. Good play by Prop. Madonna coming in. And Gagne had a great chance. He waited too long. What an opportunity. The 2-on-1. Madonna just down the left side. And Gagne was waiting and waiting for the pass. It never did count.
It's more than beautiful design and superb handling that have made Ford Taurus the standard by which other wagons are judged. It's every detail, right down to safety advances, like a standard driver's side airbag and available anti-lock brakes. You won't find either on the Accord wagon. You see, we believe that everything we put into Taurus wagon should demonstrate our concern for everything you'll put into Taurus wagon. For a limited time, get 8.9% financing on Canada's best-selling wagon.
Well, the North Stars had a great opportunity of heads-up play by Brian Prop right here as Murphy gets caught pinching. Now it's a very long 2-on-1 with Madonna, the big shooter. And the defenseman played it very nicely. Stanton played it, or was it Gordy Roberts played it very nicely to make Madonna shoot, to give Barrasso a chance to get out and cut the angle down. Barrasso was a little lucky that Gagne didn't come up with the rebound. But a smart play to get the 2-on-1 and a smart defensive play by the defenseman and Tom Barrasso to prevent the goal.
A big play made by Prop inside his own blue line to set him away. All for naught. Still no score. 7-10 left to play in the first period. Duchesne bumped by Taglianetti. He goes to the ice. Recchi couldn't clear it by Gavin. He shot it in. Taglianetti bumped by Duchesne. Broughton comes in to help. And he waited too long. It was swept away from him. Gavin bumped again by Francis. Francis and Gavin on the board. Taglianetti holding Duchesne now. Referee hollers to move it. Gavin is trying to kick it over. There's a penalty coming up. Something had to happen. Going to be a penalty to Pittsburgh. Tenardi from the corner. He's turning around. The net is empty. Casey is on the bench. And still the Pittsburgh Penguins can't find the puck. The North Stars are on it now. They touch it. And he calls the play to hand out this penalty to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Kurt Becker, married, 2 children. I've been his agent at the Mutual Group for 8 years.
2 children.
Well, just had twins.
Well, that changes things.
Now he's looking for more protection.
Well, how about adding some term insurance?
Change some GICs to an RESP for education.
He's still looking for investment and growth.
Well, then he should hold on to his mutual funds.
Makes sense.
That's one approach. Now, what else can we show him?
The Mutual Group and you, facing tomorrow together.
Well, the play along the boards. Thought you were back in the Boston Garden there for a moment, but you wonder why Kerry Fraser let it go on so long. And through all of that, Ron Francis gets caught holding on Stu Gavin right here. Francis hung on. That's where Fraser made the penalty call. So now the second straight power play for Minnesota. Harry, it's kind of strange you mentioned Coffey didn't get out 17 or 18 minutes the other night. He hasn't been on yet. Here we are 13 minutes into the hockey game.
Well, when you add the season and the playoffs against Pittsburgh, the Minnesota North Stars are 1 for 26.
From the faceoff, Glenn elected to make the pass. Mullen moving down for Pittsburgh, trying to beat his man. That was not Mario. Mullen, the penalty killer, with Gillen. Shot in by Bellows. If you've joined us late, Lemieux is not pressed tonight. Here's a chance right in front. Backhand shot. Rolls it down. Oh, the pass right through the crease. Well, they're not going to come much closer than that. They're saying that Mario Lemieux not dressed tonight. That's spasms. Pittsburgh doing all right so far. Well, not that good job. There is no score and 5:30 left in the period. Shot down the ice again. Casey. 1:05 left in the power play. Pinardi. Barton to his left. Bellows to his left. Gagne through the center and Bobby Smith to the right. And they shoot it in. Here comes Smith. In behind him is Broughton. Broughton catching up to it. Puck hit him. Went back to the net. Bobby Smith looking for it. Now Bellows finds it. Comes back near the line. Bellows will leave it at the line for Broughton. All on the outside. Again, Bellows shot it through a crowd. Bobby Smith on it with Gagne back in the net. Gagne turning to Smith. To Broughton. Broughton forced to go to the corner. Now he's looking around for somebody. On the other side. To the line. Pinardi shot. Oh, through the crease again. As Barrasso went down. 15 seconds left in the power play, and the Pittsburgh Penguins are hanging on.
Harry, Barrasso's made some great stops, but he's also had the puck go in behind him a couple of times and out the other side. So he's been good, and he's been lucky.
Well, the North Star power play looks a lot better tonight. They certainly have been getting the puck into the Pittsburgh zone and then controlling some plays. But this is one you're talking about right here. As Gagne, who's having an awful time scoring, can't get it up, and then Propp decides not to get it up and try and pass it. And here's a look the way Barrasso has to try and find the puck, and again Gagne with some awfully bad luck as he punched the puck from behind Tom Barrasso but couldn't put it between the goalposts.
The shots are 12 by Minnesota, 6 by Pittsburgh. Probably another dozen through the crease.
Bob, since the 5-minute mark of the period, the shots are 12-3 in favor of the North Star.
Most of them have come on the 2 power plays, one of which they're enjoying right now, you must admit.
That power play is now over. Wilkinson shot it in. Francis is out of the box. Minnesota on the puck. It is centered, and there is Francis. Coming away with Joe Mullen. He tapped it back to Francis, and they go in. The two of them at the line. Here's Mullen shooting. That's deflected off Wilkinson, who was hurt. It is centered. Stanton has to go to the board, turns and fires. Casey to save. Mullen didn't turn, but it's at the line, and Stanton couldn't keep it in. Mullen lost a chance to move it. This is Dahlin moving in. Had to go around Mullen and could not do that. Now it's called, and there's a penalty being called on maybe against Bobby Smith. He ended up in the net. And Minnesota gets its first penalty of the game.
And Paul Coffey puts on his helmet for the first time in the game. And we're going to see him on the Pittsburgh power play as Smith gets called for interference in the offensive zone. Time of the penalty, 16:21 here in the first period. No score, and here's Coffey.
Well, he was fighting, Smith was fighting off Stanton and threw him into the net. So Coffey has to sit nearly 17 minutes before he gets a chance to play. And Bobby Smith, who was headed to the net the way the North Stars do without the puck, got called for interference. We mentioned the shots on goal by the North Stars. In the first 2 power plays, they had half the shots, 6 of the 12. And here they go into the net. You can see that Smith just overpowered Stanton to get that interference call. And the Pittsburgh power play, that's nothing to write home about, 2 for 16. Chance to put them on the scoreboard and give them a 1-0 lead.
No score, 3:39 left in the first period, and the first Pittsburgh power play of the evening underway. Coffey passes to Murphy. Coffey now comes behind the net and picks it up. Skates away with it. Pass behind Stevens. Stevens poked at it at the Minnesota blue line. Pinardi coming away. Pinardi up the center with a long shot. Barrasso missed it, but it missed the net. Francis starting out. That pass did not work. Coffey now trying to get things going. He comes back to line up. Francis is way down the ice up by the Minnesota line. And here's Coffey. A pass to the right wing in behind Murphy. Pinardi again will clear it for Minnesota. Barrasso out to stop it. 1 minute, 10 seconds left of the power play. Pass to Stevens. This time he hangs on to it and comes in. He was poke checked off the line. Coffey has to back up. Pittsburgh can't get going. Francis took the shot from the line. Into the corner with it. Turning was Recchi. Here's Broughton, however. Coming out was Stu Gavin. Broughton waits for Gavin. He's in behind him. Broughton coming for the net now. Here's Gavin. Can't get a shot. 35 seconds remaining in the penalty. Yager coming in. Yager dropped it. Murphy turning at the blue line. Coffey is there with him. Here's Paul Coffey, a pass. Off the board. Taken by Herdina, back to Murphy. Murphy slapped it in for Yager. It bounced over his stick. Herdina, he's stopped by Gavin. Yager saw that happen and moved in to help. Now once again, Gavin scooped it down the ice. With 10 seconds left in the penalty. They won't get a shot. Unless Coffey can move in for one here. It's dropped back. Yager got in the slot. Turning the penalty over. It is centered onto the stick of Duchesne. Can't get out. Casey reached out and stopped it. Paglianetti took a shot from the line. Bobby Smith trying to get clear, but here's Yager. He's right in there. Yager. Here's another chance. And another shot. Nobody can bang it through. Coffey had a great chance. He's without the helmet. Coffey is. Yager's up in the corner. Minnesota get it out. Here's Coffey. No helmet. Played it off the glass. He has to stay on. Minnesota's Duchesne coming in. Shot it wide. We're into the final minute of the opening period. No score. Pittsburgh did not have a shot on their power play. Casey stepping out of the net. Bellows takes it off the boards and tried to move it out and did. 45 seconds remaining in the period. Samuelson, look out. Sherlock coming. Samuelson fell to get away from that hit. Bellows kept it in. He's going to the corner with it now. Centered it. Oh, it came off Samuelson and nearly caught the far corner. Churla and McRae went after Samuelson. Samuelson bumped by McRae and he got a stick up on him. Pittsburgh coming away with it. In over the line. A shot by Trottier deflected wide of the goal. 15 seconds left in the period. Now 11 seconds remaining and they get a whistle for the face-off in the Minnesota zone.
Well, the two-man wrecking crew, Harry, was at it again. Mark Recchi must feel like a punching bag here tonight. They have drilled him a couple of times, and Samuelson felt it as well. Let's go down to Ron McLean for a look at our upcoming first intermission.
Thank you very much, Dick. In the intermission, Don Cherry, as always, is along in the coach's corner, and the outgoing president, governor, and general manager of the Calgary Flames, Cliff Fletcher, will be by with thoughts on what's ahead.
Interesting intermission with Mr. Fletcher aboard.
What about Mr. Cherry? Well, here's Coffey's going to get his helmet knocked off by Mark Bureau. Right there. And with the referee right there, you can see Coffey complaining to Gary Fraser to get a penalty. He played about 35 seconds without the helmet, and it wasn't the power play. He's going to get a note from the doctor.
10 seconds left in the period. Scramble for it. It ends up in the corner. Chambers went in there after it. They hold it in there, though. Clock winding down. Horn goes. And the first period ends in Minnesota. The shots were by Minnesota 12 and by Pittsburgh 7. No scoring in that opening period. And so, Don Cherry standing by in the coach's corner, the score. After 20 minutes, Minnesota nothing and Pittsburgh nothing.
I like your company. Such a comfortable place to be. I like your company. You always make me feel like me. I like your company.
New from GWG, the Great Western Garment Company jeans.
I like your company. Falling in love again. Never won't.
More Canadians keep the romance going with help from Motomaster and Canadian Tire. Canada's #1 selling replacement parts. MotoMaster motor oils are all formulated to exceed the quality requirements in your new car warranty. But that doesn't mean this page can't be used for something else. MotoMaster, Canada's #1 selling motor oil.
What you want, baby, we got it. What you need, you know we got it. All you really want is a little respect, just a little bit. Respect, just a little bit.
At Speedy, you get respect and a great deal. Right now, get our best muffler for only $44.99, saving you money. Another way Speedy treats you like a somebody.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, that's what Speedy means to me.
This is your new office? I can't believe you went out on your own. A computer, fax machine, office with a view.
Yeah, it's a start.
How are you going to pay for all this stuff? And I know you took a cut in salary.
Yeah, a little bit. But you know, mostly I just cut down on other things.
Other things?
Overweighty Foods. We're the store you can always depend on for selection, service, and low prices. Starting with your first cup in the morning and all through the day, coffee just doesn't get any better than Nabob Tradition. This week, get Nabob Tradition regular, fine, or extra fine grind in a 300-gram package for just $1.68.
Overweighty, our name means more.
Coach's Corner with Don Cherry is brought to you by Pepsi. It's got what it takes.
I'm grabbing some drinks. You want Coke, Pepsi? Whatever. Special effects.
Thank you. Which one tastes better?
This one.
You chose Pepsi.
Are you from the future?
Yeah, I'm from Pepsi.
The majority of soft drink users tested prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coke Classic. What did I miss?
Lots of great chances, no goals in the opening period here at the Met Center in Bloomington. Don, Scoop Cherry, what'd you think of that period?
Well, it's a good period. Barrasso, I like the way he's playing and finally coming through. It gets awful sickening, though, after a while, that I have to go out and put my job on the line all the time, arguing and fighting and getting them up for the games. That's what I do. And folks, think through the playoffs. Think through the playoffs. We'll go all the way back to Gary Roberts in Calgary, right? Doing nothing. I give him a little kickstart.
Unfairly ripped him, I thought, yes.
Yes, so the next game, what does he do? They win the game, and he gets a star, 2 goals. Now, then we go to Buffalo, no crowds or anything. I got to give them a little shot. Harry says, Cherry's spot up there, fill that up. Then I go to Stevie Casper, give him a little shot. He comes and screams and holler at me. And what does he do the next game? Gets a shorthanded goal and a star. They win the game. Barrasso, I got to give it. It's awful in Pittsburgh, the abuse I'm taking there in Pittsburgh. And what happens now? He gets the first star. Was it first or second star the other night?
He was second behind Mario.
Well, he should have. Well, Mario, he should have had his second star. And look at him playing tonight. It's an awful burden that I carry in these playoffs.
Doing a good job, though. Keep it going if at all possible. Mario Lemieux's out tonight with back spasms, and we now know the story, or believe we know the story.
I know the story, and if you want to know, listen to the old Don, and I understand that he was bending over, doing up his skates, and it caught. Now, I have told these people many, many times, Wayne Cashman, he used to go in traction day of the game, and then he'd come out and play. We always had the stick boy do up his skates. The worst thing he can do is bend over with all those great physio therapists or whatever the hell you call them. You think somebody would tell him that's the worst thing you can do, but what a dumb old hockey player guy like me. That's what happened. He bent over, caught in the back, and now he's out.
Bad news.
Yes, it is.
Did you ever play in pain?
I played in a lot of pain, and let me tell you something. I played for $32. I remember one time we were playing, and it was EPHL, Eastern Professional
You don't
Hockey.
know, I don't know. You can bet on that.
No, you're doing the weather again. But anyhow, I got a cut right between the over top of the skate and the pad. That little spot there, I got about 10 stitches. and they froze it, and they stitched it up, and I went out and tried to play the next night, and I broke all the stitches, and I got $32. I remember Jake, they give us a check after, I said, Jake Hendrickson, I said, Jake, how about we flip for this? But I had to cash it because I didn't have any money. And another thing that I had that that I think one of the worst things I had, I almost fainted, imagine me, was I used to get water on the knee one year. I hurt my knee and I hurt my cartilage, and it kept swelling up. And they kept draining it all the time, draining it. And one time the guy couldn't get enough out, so he took the syringe off. They put that little, you know, when you're sick, you put a little cup there or something. And he got to the side, and he was pushing the stuff, and he was pushing the stuff, and it was coming out the syringe, and it was flying all over the place. And I did that for $6,000, and I never missed a game. I just hope somebody isn't eating potato chips or something like that.
Absolutely anything on a Sunday night, not to mention, usually, Don, it was other people in stitches when you played. And about Barrasso and Roberts and all those guys, Cherry says his raspberries bear fruit in this installment of the Coach's Corner on Molson Hockey Night in Canada in the Stanley Cup playoffs on CBC.
Coach's Corner with Don Cherry is brought to you by Pepsi. It's got what it takes.
When a dog or cat is more than just a pet, you want to feed him Nutrients, the premium quality pet food, in many varieties by Hagen from the Gallery at the corner of 105th Avenue and 8th Street, Dawson Creek. Also check out pet supplies, products, and accessories, also from Hagen, fish foods, aquariums, cages, collars, and much, much more. Always rely on quality pet supplies, products, and accessories, along with Nutrients, the premium quality pet food by Hagen at the Gallery in Dawson Creek, 782-8610.
Yeah, we had plans to travel this summer. And along comes this Music 91 thing.
Music 91.
Over 100 of these big road shows. There's street entertainment and community showcases everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
So we're staying right here in BC, not going anywhere.
Nowhere.
Not with all this Music 91 stuff going on. It wouldn't make any sense.
No sense.
I already said that.
So did I.
I know.
This is your new office? I can't believe you went out on your own. A computer, fax machine, office with a view.
Yeah, it's a start.
How are you going to pay for all this stuff? And I know you took a cut in salary.
Yeah, a little bit. But you know, mostly I just cut down on other things.
Other things?
Life in the fast lane keeps getting faster. And at Cal Tire, more and more of our customers are looking for increased performance.
That's why Cal Tire carries Yokohama radials that have been proven on some of the world's toughest racecourses for superior traction and durability. For tires designed to deliver your kind of performance, get Yokohama radials at Cal Tire.
For guaranteed tread life, ask about Cal Tire's expanded customer protection policy.
Cal Tire, Western Canada's #1 tire store.
It doesn't take long to appreciate all that went into the totally redesigned 16-valve Escort GT. Were you expecting something else? Now with 8.9% financing, you'll appreciate it even more.
Hustle and aggression characterized Butch Goring's career. Those traits endeared him to the New York Islanders, who acquired him in late 1980, and he paid off immediately as the Isles won the Stanley Cup. 1 year later, Goring was a full-fledged member of the Islander team that looked to his example. In the 81 postseason, he attached offense to his resume. His key goals and playmaking ability were a vital cog in the New York Cup hopes. The entire hockey world took notice, and that year he captured the Conn Smythe Trophy as the NHL's playoff most valuable player. One of the big stories of this year's Stanley Cup playoffs is Cliff Fletcher. Soon to be formerly of the Flames, Cliff will join me next on Molson Hockey Night in Canada in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
In Canada, a beer must be clean and cold. And it must have a genuine Canadian taste. Molson Canadian. What beer's all about. You're watching Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Happy motoring, Canada. At Esso, we have a tradition of good service. We try hard to get you on your way.
Today, you can even serve yourself. And at Esso, we're still here to help.
We do little things, like make sure the pump is ready when you are, keeping paper towels, clean water, and squeegees on hand, and even a warm smile to help you on your way.
Full serve or self-serve. At Esso, good service stands the test of time. With Esso.
3M salutes the Olympic athletes who found a better way. Whose ideas were so original, there's no going back. That same innovative thinking helped us invent Post-it brand notes. And the way you leave messages has never been the same. 3M, innovation working for you.
Just like an old friend, you can count on and trust. It's like stroking on the sunshine, right over the rust, treated to trim clad. Give it some TSC.
More people paint and protect more things with Tremclad than with all other rust paints combined.
Give it that TSC.
To create perfect freshness is the art of nature. To preserve perfect freshness is the art of Ziploc freezer bags. Ziploc announces a new way to capture freshness. Our new Gripper Zippers special teeth lock together, sealing in freshness. First time, every time. The Gripper Zipper, now on all Ziploc bags.
Midas gives you a price break on our front disc brake package. $99.95 for the Midas front disc brake package with metallic pads, only for a limited time. Nobody tops the Top Guns. Nobody.
This portion of Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC has been brought to you by Ford of Canada, where quality is more than a commitment. Quality is job one.
Back live with Cliff Fletcher. Cliff, you say it was a year ago you started thinking about leaving Calgary?
That's right, Ron. I started thinking about it last summer, and by the time the regular season got underway, I'd pretty well made my mind up.
Why?
Well, I just thought a job change was in order. I felt that I wasn't doing the job I should have been doing, and if I was going to make a job change, it was now, not later.
But how can you say that with a Stanley Cup in '89 and first-place finishes?
Well, I think anyone who's been out there working in one situation for a number of years, like I have, running the same team for over 19 years, staleness does get in.
Okay, on behalf of all of Toronto, will you please accept the job there?
Well, you know, that's the one thing about this business. There's lots of speculation and rumors, but believe me, I have nothing confirmed, and as of right now, I'm going to take my time.
Is it true you have 3 offers on the table?
There's no offers anywhere, Ron.
Okay, Trevor Kidd, in a big deal last year at the draft, you moved up with New Jersey to 10th to get him number 1. And I understand he's led the Spokane Chiefs along with Pat Falloon, Ray Whitney to the Memorial Cup tonight. What about that?
Well, Trevor, after he went over to Spokane, had a terrific year, and all the fans in Calgary have a lot to look forward to. He had a goals against average in the Western Hockey League playoffs of under 2 goals per game, which is unheard of in junior hockey today, and then just carried through in the Memorial Cup. He's a tremendous prospect, as are a lot of other players on that Spokane team.
Mm-hmm. What about this Stanley Cup, Minnesota and Pittsburgh? Could you have believed that?
Well, I mean, that's what parity is today. You know, there's the evenness and talent spread around the league now, and I think this is going to give a lot of underdogs encouragement in the future that anybody can win it any year. And I know Our feelings in Calgary are neutral, with Norm Green on one side and Bob Johnston on the other, but it has the makings of a real good and exciting series.
Great job in Calgary. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Cliff Fletcher, one thing you can count on, the torch passed in Calgary will always bear his flames. Bob?
And wherever Cliff Fletcher goes, that team will be on the right track. No scores. Second period underway. 12-7 the shots in the first in favor of Minnesota. And they have the puck deep in their own zone, and they start back. That is Broughton around the net, getting away from Francis, who was dumped. Dahlquist brings it up to the blue line. Gave it to Broughton. He tipped it over the line, and it's chopped back out by Mullen. Mullen was hit. Dahlquist backs up. Finds a bit of skating room to start Broughton away again. Broughton going around Robert. Stevens caught him there. Still inside the line. Broughton behind the net, trying to center to Gavin. They hold it on the boards. Yager was given a stiff hit.
Dahlquist has hit a couple of guys, and he straightened up Yager on that one as he pinched in from the blue line, and the puck got caught in his glove. And for about 4 seconds, nobody knew where the puck was. Dahlquist knew it was in his glove and threw it back into the corner. Minnesota's been far more aggressive tonight than they were in Game 2 in Pittsburgh. And that turns this crowd on, and I think it turns each other on. Here's the hit we're talking about. Yager forgot to check with one peek to see where the defenseman was when the puck came around the boards.
Yager is with Gillen and Phil Bourque. Drop on there with Gagne and Madonna for Minnesota. Samuelson coming out. The lead pass to Yager. He lost it. Gagne comes back in, and that's broken out. Yager is skating away with it. He has Gillen trailing. Yager trying to move in, and he is jammed out of the play. Chambers played the body all the way on that one. He's still on top of Yager in the corner. Here's Pop coming out for Minnesota. Takes his time near center, and now it's shot in by Glenn. Samuelson. Gagne will line him up. Buckman. Yager couldn't get it out. It was offside, though, with Gagne in front. He thought he had a chance to go for the net. We'll be right back after this message.
The engineers at Honda have always believed that every detail merits creative exploration. Brakes are no exception. With this in mind, Honda presents a new level of confidence for the long road ahead. The Honda anti-lock brake system. A comforting thought when the buck stops here.
The player leads all others in the point parade in this playoff year is not playing tonight. Mario Lemieux out with a back spasm problem. There's the top 8 for you in the playoffs, and not surprisingly, 6 out of the 8 are members of either the Penguins or the North Stars.
Minute and a half into the second period. No score here in Game 3. Series tied at a Game 8. Home ice advantage belongs to Minnesota, if that makes any difference anymore in these playoffs. Minnesota on the puck. It is centered. Brady Wilkinson on, and they saved by Barrazzo. Wilkinson walked right in there. Thought he had one. Pittsburgh moving it out. Pack played it in, and offside is called at the Minnesota line.
Boy, that a guy walk right in, Neil Wilkinson, Harry. Maybe it's a case of a player who's not used to scoring goals getting a big chance to get one.
Boy, he made a move on the Pittsburgh forward that came out to check him. When your responsibility's the point man in your own end, you can't go by him. And look at this fake shot. Bob Erie and Dom Barrasso bailed out Erie as Wilkinson gave Erie the how do you do, and then nearly scored on a nice fast play with a pair of quick hands and a good shot.
Smith won the draw just outside his own line. Again, Wilkinson moving in. Drives to the corner and left the puck there. Erie picks it up for Pittsburgh and gets it out. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Minnesota 1-0 lead. They go all the way down the ice. Casey out of the net. He saw the linesman wave off a possible icing. And it's shot from center this time. Casey touched it. And it would have been called had he not moved out on it. Johnson around the goal. Minnesota moving it out. Pass to Smith. He is hopping in over the line. Bobby Smith, not much room. He's around the net. Still hangs onto it. Now puts on the brakes. And he was caught. Dowling shot into the corner. Bellows around the goal. Minnesota pressure on here. Back of the net. Tenorti trying to center it. Nobody on that side. And two Penguins are away. Coming in on the right wing. Recchi for the net. And it was tucked away. He got it back again. Roberts at the blue line. Couldn't move in on it. Murphy backs up. Put it out to the far side. Francis in. He was bumped by Dahlquist. 3:15 gone. McRae couldn't get too far. Churla following the play. To McRae behind the net. Into the corner again. Churla to McRae. He's out shooting one. Along the ice and he missed the goal. Mullen. Pass to Francis. Stevens to Francis. He is tied up in back of the net. Taken again by McRae. He got it out. Penguins shoot it in. No score. Coming up to 4 minutes to play in the second. Bureau takes the pass at center. Shoots it from there. Got by Samuelson as to hurry back. And he was nailed by McRae. Bureau was in there hitting. See that one coming. Penalty, though, coming on the play. And it'll be called now with Casey out of the net to pick it up. Here's the penalty to the Minnesota North Stars.
Introducing the Dodge Shadow S and the Plymouth Sundance S, the smart cars from Chrysler. They've got the largest engines in their class, but we kept the fuel economy high. That's smart. We gave you lots of legroom, but didn't cramp on cargo space. That's also smart. Then we gave the Sundance Shadow S an unbelievably long warranty, an incredibly low price, and an introductory offer of automatic transmission, which is not only smart, it's brilliant.
There is no question which team is initiating the hitting tonight. Basil McRae gets a boarding call. Just before that, Harry, McRae and Churla were passing the puck around. I thought it was Gretzky and Messier there for a minute. But here he comes, charging in. Bureau was lucky he didn't get one at the same time. In any event, McRae is gone for two, and Paul Coffey is back on the ice. Oh, look at this as the aftermath. Barassa comes out, falls into step.
Well, McRae's a whirling dervish, and if there's any trouble on any part of the ice, he's usually in on it, often causes it. And those two guys don't let too many minutes go by when they're out there not getting a takeout. And as you say, they completed about 3 passes to each other just before those two hits came up. Pittsburgh hasn't done much this period. Maybe they can get started here in the power play.
Face off to the left of John Casey. Linesman having a word with Neil Broughton. Broughton won the draw. Puck is cleared all the way down to Barrasso. Murphy and Paul Coffey. Verdina on the move to the left side, and Coffey gave it to him. But he didn't handle the pass cleanly. Mullen dropped it back. Murphy has to hurry back inside his own line. He has Gavin and Broughton to contend with. Now he starts out. Lead pass ahead. Yager got in over the line. He was stopped. Verdina carried on. Into the corner, Mullen. Hit the side of the net. Verdina back of the goal. Nobody saw the loose puck. Verdina was on it. Long shot. Blocked. Bounces down, and reaching up for it is Casey. And he gloved it.
John Casey, just the other day after returning from Pittsburgh, was upstairs shaving in his underwear at home and got a call from his wife. John, come on downstairs. It's Sports Illustrated on the phone. So John nearly cut his throat, putting the razor down, ran down the stairs, tripped on his kids' toys at the bottom, ran to the phone and said hello. And on the other end he heard, for 35 cents an issue, you can get...
Did he subscribe?
He's going to be on the cover if he keeps playing the way he's playing.
Faceoff inside the Minnesota line to the right of John Casey. But 1:17 left in the penalty to McRae. There is no score. Broughton on this ball, lifted one high. It got to the line. Coffey knocked it down. He took a bump as he did from Broughton. Broughton takes the pass at center. He tripped himself. Got back up now to Gavin. Shoots! That came off Murphy's stick and didn't miss by much on the short side. Pittsburgh unable to get this power play going. Maybe Coffey can solve it. He is supposed to do that. Casey will cover up again as Coffey elected to shoot from outside the blue line.
I think we have to keep mentioning in this 0-0 hockey game that while Paul Coffey is playing, again, in case folks have just joined us the last few minutes, Mario Lemieux is not. He suffered a back spasm while getting ready for tonight's game in the Pittsburgh dressing room. So it's a big, big loss to the Penguins and to those of us who like to watch Mario play hockey. Now look at this, sort of a high shot by Johnson toward the face mask of Coffey playing with that damaged jaw.
Well, I know one thing that both of you agree with me when we wish Red Fisher a speedy recovery, who left Pittsburgh with a little bit of a sickness problem. I know you're at home watching Red. We really miss you after the game telling us your viewpoint. So get better and get back.
Murphy from the blue line gets a shot, and that's blocked by Casey again. Mr. Fisher, of course, is the most senior hockey writer in the country with the Montreal Gazette. He has been on the beat longer than anybody else. On the beat, that's the key, as Red tells me. And I want to point out, it is not a serious illness, we're happy to say, but he's decided he'd better get home and rest up a little bit. He'll be back.
Well, we got one Hall of Famer not here and a future Hall of Famer not in action today. We're going to have penalties called here. All that jostling that went on after the whistle, Fraser finally got upset, and there's going to be players from both teams go. Here's that drive by Murphy from the right side as he moved in, and Casey covers up.
Traffic in front of Casey. That's right on the blackboard in the Pittsburgh dressing room. Don't give this little goalie long looks at long shots. And you can see right there, they were trying to get that done on that Murphy shot.
So we've got Chambers gone for Minnesota in that hassle, and this is how it all started with the pushing, shoving. And it's a case of push leading to shove, leading to the penalty box for those two. With still 45 seconds left in the Basil McRae penalty. No score in the hockey game, 5:23 gone, second period.
26, Sean Chambers for unsportsmanlike conduct. Time of the penalties, 5:23.
Chambers and Rutgers. Here's Murphy setting it up. Coffey waits. Whipped a pass in there, and Mullen just missed it. Murphy again up the line. Back in for Mullen. Mullen waits to Murphy to Mullen. He comes in, takes his shot. It's centered right through the crease. Here's Coffey with a shot. That is blocked, but out for Broughton. He has Gavin with him, and Gavin takes the pass. To Gavin over the line. Broughton going for the net. Gavin turning back. Swinged away from Coffey, and a big move centered. Oh, the wrestle! Rob Tenorti. What a play. And what a save by Barrasso. Here's Murphy coming out. Penalty is over now. Top nearly got in. McRae ran into Coffey, and Coffey saw him coming. McRae was out of the box. Now Coffey hitting McRae as he goes off. North Stars Madonna coming in. Madonna in the corner, trying to center it. He gets in front. Loose puck. Barrasso down, and he holds it again. Coffey just got out of the way of McRae.
Well, in the old days, if you ever found your defenseman up in front of the opposition's net when you were short-handed, you'd have a word with him. but Tom Barrasso robbed Tenorti on that one. And here's Coffey with the puck, and take a look at what he's putting up with every time he gets rid of it.
All right, be the judge, folks, as McRae went by him. Coffey heading to the bench. Now he takes a shot at McRae right there. And, of course, Coffey playing with the protective face mask and the damaged jaw.
No score. Nearing 7 minutes of play in the second period. Penguins move the puck as far as their own line. Now they get it out to center, and Wilkinson chopped it back in. Samuelson against Madonna. Here's Kropp turning, low shot, and wide. Loney tried to clear it out. Couldn't. Stack getting away from a hit from Kropp. Madonna went after Samuelson. Samuelson ducked as he saw him coming. There's Madonna knocking a high one down and turning with it. Madonna's long shot. The rest of the stick save. Erie dropped it on the boards in the corner, and then he was hit. Wilkinson coming back. They'll wave off the icing. All the referees in the seats. And the linesman up there didn't like the call. Here's Madonna. Moving in. Gagne!
To Gagne, who's pouring in on the left wing. And what a cute little play Gagne makes through the legs of Tom Barrasso with one glove off. He's only got the one glove going for him here. That could have been a sleight of hand move he pulled on Barrasso to put his team up 1-0. And he's been very critical of himself in games 1 and 2.
From Madonna at 7:21. First goal of the game. 1-0 Minnesota. Alquist keeping the puck in. The Stars smash up and down.
Against Edmonton, and here 2 goals in a very short space of time. 33 seconds. I really think Pittsburgh, knowing those stats as well as I do, should have taken a timeout or made a line change, get some kind of a delay. It's too late to take one now. They're down 2.
And that's what they've done, Harry. The Penguins have taken the timeout. Bobby Smith having a fine playoff for Minnesota. Phil Bourque was stripped of the puck coming into his own zone. Smith from the right wing put it home. So Madonna at 7:21. Smith at 7:54. 2-0 North Stars.
The people who go for it. Cold as a beer should be. Bold. Cold. Foster's Lager.
Second assist, number 4, Chris Dahlquist.
Bellows and Dahlquist assisting Bobby Smith at 7:54. 2-0 Minnesota. Very quickly, the North Stars jump on the Pittsburgh Penguins. 2 goals. Francis behind his own net.
really blame the Pittsburgh coaching staff. They had those stats about all those quick goals, paid no attention to them. Now they're down 2. A foolish mistake.
It seemed to us at Chevrolet that beauty should be more than skin deep. So we scratched beneath the surface of our Lumina, a Ford, a Honda, and this Mercedes. A month in these corrosion chambers simulates 2 years on the road. The Lumina's two-sided galvanized steel proved by far the best rust protection. Because with even a Mercedes, sooner or later, you get this. Durability's a priority, not an option. That's today's Chevrolet.
In the last 23 minutes of play, the normally offensive-minded Pittsburgh Penguins have managed only 7 shots. Here they get a power play chance to see if they can get back into this game. A holding call, and Gaétan Duchesne as he calls down Ron Francis.
So 2 goals in 33 seconds. And Minnesota are on top of the Pittsburgh Penguins here in Game 3.
Well, here's a standing ovation as the game's going on for Norm Green, the owner of the North Stars. That happens about twice a game, especially when they get ahead, Bob.
Will do when he gets in on a goal. 9 minutes into the second period now. Coffey rolled it in. Coffey gets his shot. That is blocked. A race for it. Chambers won't get there. Rock backs up at his own line and left it for Gavin. He scooped the high one away. Mullen stopped that breakaway attempt by Chambers. Gave it to Murphy. Murphy coming to center ice. Away from Bureau. Over the line. Hangs onto it. Put it up in front of the net. Stevens couldn't handle the pass. Mullen. Checked by Chambers. Bureau is in there. Here's Retney in the corner. Bernardi was hit. At the line. It's Murphy again. Whipped it over to Coffey. Coffey lost it. And Murphy is out into the center ice area. Forced back by Bureau. Bureau had the backhand it in. He put himself offside. The play stopped. As they near the 10-minute mark of the second period, and a 2-0 Minnesota lead.
Well, here again, I get back to what we talked about earlier on. The power play stats aren't too impressive, but boy, this is some aggressive penalty killing we are seeing from the part of the North Stars. So the defensive guys in these situations have really done a job in this series.
Well, the North Stars are the most aggressive team out there tonight. And, you know, sometimes when you keep getting chances and you keep delivering about 80% of the body checks, it takes a little while before that sets in. The Pittsburgh Penguins are flattered by the score of 2-0. The shots are 18-11. The chances to score are about 9-2. And the North Stars have done what they've usually done here at the Met Center in the playoffs. They've taken the game over in almost all departments.
Gagne from Adano and Johnson at 7:21. Smith from Bellows and Dahlquist at 7:54. Just like that, a scoreless game turns into a 2-0 Minnesota lead. Coffey skating to center with 30 seconds left on the Pittsburgh power play. France has got rid of it. Dahlquist trying to move it out. Herdino went in there. Backhands it along the boards to Coffey. The shot blocked by Casey. Yager missed it. And Tromp cleared it. We're coming out. 18-12 are the shots in this game in favor of Minnesota. As Yager comes in, gets the shot away. Not much on it. He was checked by Brian Glenn. Puck in back to the net. Penalty over. They're at full strength and they're skating with it. Duchesne trying to center it. Gavin now will try. Hit the back of the net with that pass. Murphy, Gavin, and Murphy fell on the puck. And there's no further play. 9 minutes left to play in the second.
There comes a time when everyone has to leave home.
Good night, son.
For Danny Muldoon.
I'm not carrying this guy down 6 flights of stairs, I'll tell you that right now.
It's 20 years overdue.
Where are our breasts?
What?
You're built like a 13-year-old boy.
From John Hughes and Chris Columbus comes a comedy for anyone who's ever had a mother. Only the Lonely.
Starts Friday at theaters everywhere. Check local listings.
Tuesday night, the tradition continues on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Pittsburgh and Minnesota. Game 4 of the Stanley Cup will be seen at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight, 5 o'clock Pacific from the Met Center.
And the president, owner of the North Stars, Norm Green, there he is, enjoying every minute of this. The owner's ever going to stand and go when the game's on.
Shandon coming back against Madonna, who was in there very quickly. Rucky lifted one to the far corner. Samuelson was over there. It is centered. Samuelson intercepted in front of the net just in time. Chambers shot it back in. Minnesota now obviously taking over the hockey game. They have 2 goals, but it keeps pressing the Pittsburgh Penguins. No Mario out there tonight to ignite the Pittsburgh team. Joined us late. Olympia not playing. Back spasm. They hope he'll be back to game 4.
Well, there's no way that you can be on the wrong end of as many hits as the Penguins were and stay in the hockey game for very long. It never happens. Takes a while to show, but it never happens.
Well, congratulations to the team from Spokane. As Ron mentioned in his chat with Cliff Fletcher, they have won the Memorial Cup, beating Drummondville 5-1. One of the owners of the Spokane team is George Brett, the baseball player.
Brian Maxwell used to play here for Minnesota as the coach.
And in the American League Calder Cup Finals, Rochester leading Springfield 2-1. And the it's Bob Plager's Peoria team ahead of Fort Wayne 3-2 in those hockey finals. And look at this. Again, we get the answer to the hockey pucks in Edmonton everywhere we go. There it is in Minnesota.
And the Stars in this hockey final for the Stanley Cup. They're tied in the series at a game each and leading here in game 3, 2-0 in the second period with 8:11 left. Minority hopping on it right from the draw, and Gillen pinned him in on the board. But the North Stars failed to clear it. Holland going after it. Sharp angle, centered it. Got by everybody and is out over the line. Bellows is moving up there. Bellows with Dolan. He tried to drop it, and Roberts takes care of him. Taglianetti lost the chance to move it behind the net, put a skate on it. Dolan got it loose. Roberts on him. They fight forward in the corner. Bellows out with it. Took a shot. Barrasso grabbed it. Penalty coming up to Taglianetti. Bobby Smith was nailed in front of the net with a high stick.
Here come the trainers. Here come the doctors. They get more ice time than anybody else in the league. Guys lie down looking for the 5-minute penalty. Smith got hit, but he didn't have to lie around for as long as he could.
Smith is okay.
Every day at Esso, we go to extremes. From desert heat to minus 40. Quality is essential to us. It's a lot of time, and it's a lot of care.
Our gasoline goes through at least 16 different quality control tests. Nothing is left to chance. Quality is too important. From the first test to the last stop.
At Esso, you can count on all of us for the quality of our products.
Defenseman Peter Taglianetti began this season playing for the North Stars here in Minnesota. He's gone for 2 for the high stick on Bobby Smith. The North Stars 0 for 2 in the power play in the first period, get their opening chance here in the second. Here's the play in behind Barrasso after he makes the save, and it's the tip of a high stick.
Smith was lucky he didn't hurt himself taking the dive.
It worked, Harry.
Yes, it did, and that's the problem. It's getting to be a huge problem. First of all, the NHL teams have to hire doctors that make house calls, and there's hardly any of those around the country.
Senses a kill, maybe. It's 2-0 now. 3-0 might be insurmountable for Pittsburgh. On the boards it goes, and down the ice, and Casey is out. Pass it off to Bellows. He whipped the pass to the other side. Picanier. Broughton is also on with Tenorti. And Tenorti will have to come back this time. Tenorti. Gagne moves to the right, and Tenorti skates with it. Comes this way to Broughton. He's shot one in. To the left of Barrasso. Barrasso out of the net, scooped it into the corner, and Propp is there with Gagne. Gagne to Propp. Close quarters to Bellows. Bellows had it knocked away by Samuelson. He gave it a Propp goal. Propp skating away along the boards to the line. Shot blocked by Francis. Francis cleared it out of the zone. That's Broughton at his own blue line. Center ice, 1 minute left on the power play. They went offside.
Well, Brian Propp, who plays on a line for the most part with Gagne and Modano, has showed a lot more spunk tonight. As that line, they were very upset with themselves at their lack of production. Modano had a goal and an assist in the first 2 games, but Gagne and Propp had nothing. Gagne, of course, got a beautiful goal tonight, and the North Stars have their another dangerous offensive line in gear.
For Brian Propp, Harry's his second straight year in the Stanley Cup Finals. He was there last year with Boston. Well, here we have the cheerleaders. They used to conduct the cheers before all kinds of spectators disguised as empty seats here throughout most of the season. Now they've got somebody to go along with them, like about 15,000.
Bobby Smith is back out there. No! Roberts clears it down the ice.
I'm not knocking Bobby Smith. I just think all the players are going down trying to get to 5 minutes when they were just slightly hurt.
Modano through center ice. He's skating well. Fades back to the line. Centered it! Barrasso a big save on that side. It is centered again. Modano waiting. Modano all the way back to the line. Intercepted by Mullen. And roll to center. Here's Glenn. Ryan Glenn getting away from Mullen. 23 seconds left on the penalty. Bobby Smith comes in on the left side with Dolan. And Glenn back at the line, takes the pass. Glenn along the boards with it. It is centered by Dolan. Shot! Missed the net. Right in front again, and the Penguins cleared in time. Now the penalty is over. Shots are 19-13 in favor of Minnesota. 5:30 left in the second period. Your start. 2 goals in a span of 33 seconds. Turla level as he golfed it in. Gagne, his 9th of the playoffs. Smith, his 8th.
Banking today is a lot more complex than it used to be.
We have to get back to more personal relationships.
People like to feel like they matter when they deal with us.
Oh, well, I think the customers expect a friendly, smiling face when they come into the branch.
Technology is very nice, but they want the personal touch.
It's very rewarding for us at the Bank of Montreal to think that we've helped to improve the quality of their life.
Bank of Montreal. We're paying attention.
I think the challenge always is there. It never ends.
Well, Mike Modano, he's playing a lot better tonight, as most of his teammates are. He's a dangerous hockey player. He's going to be up there among the top scorers for a few years in the league. And Ulf Dolan fanned on a shot. Tom Barrasso might be getting tired. Look how slow he was trying to get back up. He's been a busy man, and he's kept this game close.
Duchesne shoots it in. Barrasso stopping it for Pack. Murphy got it ahead. Francis for Pittsburgh. Put it up to Stevens, and he's stopped. But here's Stevens stealing it. Oh, and what a chance he had to take a step or two, but he decided to shoot. It's right in front again. And Casey stopped it on the short side. Stevens turned and fired a rocket wide of the net. They haven't had many scoring chances like that.
They certainly aren't allowed to stand around very long and get a second look or a second shot. They're down in that area in front of the net in a hurry.
Pittsburgh pressing now. Murphy at the blue line. It's tipped in front of the net. Stevens didn't see it. Out comes Bureau. Played it to the right wing. Gavin takes it on the offside with 4:27 left to play in the second period.
The This game and series is about hockey's ultimate reward, but the NHL individual awards are also a big part of the coming weeks. On June the 5th, we'll have that on CBC, and in our second intermission, we'll look ahead to some of the possibilities.
Oh, what a chance for Kevin Stevens. That might have silenced this big throng here for a little while. I don't know why he elected just to let it go like he did, Harry. As Bob pointed out, he shot it immediately with nobody between him and Casey. He didn't give himself a chance to make a play. I guess there's the element of surprise. Not much of a surprise when you miss the net. I watch these practices day of the game, between games. They shoot. Then they get a chance in a hockey game and they miss the net.
He may not have known he was as much alone as he was and shot it right away.
Norty putting the puck up to Gagne. Boy, he's hanging on to it very well. Now from the line, Dahlquist, and he missed from the short side. Kept in. O'Donnell centered it, and it's intercepted by Trottier. Stanton comes out with him and shot it in. 4 minutes left in the period. 2-0 Minnesota. Pittsburgh pressing in front of the net, and the net goes flying again off the magnets as Casey goes down to hold it.
Well, Harry, as you pointed out, there is no question of the fact that two fellows who you pointed out as not being too contributing 2 nights ago, Gagne and Modano, have been very dominant here this evening. Okay, there's Bob Casey. A lot of things changing in hockey, including the way goaltenders handle the puck. Here's Bob Johnson with some thoughts on that.
Well, Casey is really a gambler. He's all over the rink. He likes to handle the puck. In one game we counted, he handled it 30-some times. And Barrasso likes to handle the puck. So, you know, a lot of times when you dump it in or your shoot-ins are not really good plays because if they handle the puck, it comes out. So I think your dump-ins or your shoot-ins have to be well constructed in there. And otherwise, all it is it's a defensive play, not an offensive play.
Well, he wants 1 or 2 offensive plays now. He's down 2-0 with 3:51 left in the second period. Gagne and Smith have scored for Minnesota. Trottier turns along the boards. Yager is tied up. He can't move on it. Yager now takes it. Turn around and lost it. Murphy has to hurry back to pick it up. Murphy's pass ahead to Trottier. Didn't handle it cleanly. When he did pick it up, he shot it in, hit the linesman. A quick shot onto the short side, no problem for Casey. They're down the ice again. Murphy in front of his own net. Put it to the left boards. Minnesota, 3 of them on it. Dowling chopped it back in, and Murphy has to go back. He's chased by Bellows, so he left it for Roberts. Loney comes over the line and trying to get it up to Yager. He's going on. Wilkinson in. Knocks off his stick, and Mullen turns at center. Into the left side. Loney handled well. He was knocked down. Trottier going after it. Trottier upended Wilkinson, trying to stuff it in as he circled the net. Here's Trottier again. A Mullen shot. That's off his stick, and it just missed. A little bit of pressure by Pittsburgh now, and Mullen there again around the net. And the play called. I think maybe that net is off the magnet again. There's no sign of a penalty or such coming up, or the net probably not off.
Boy, they got to do something about that. We just heard word that Tenorti and Troy Loney, for fighting after the second period in Game 2, have been fined $25,000. Each team has been fined $25,000 for that altercation. Because both players were on the ice when the period ended, there'll be no suspension. Had they come off the bench, even though the period had ended, or out of the penalty box and got into it, they'd have got 10 games. So the league fine pot is embellished by $50,000, 25 from each team.
Rule 54, Section G. That's what it comes under. Once the buzzer goes, you don't fight. You do, it costs your employers.
On the Penguins, number 24, Trey Loney, and the North Stars, number 8, Jim Johnson. Minor penalties each for roughing.
Now that happened after the play had been stopped.
But Loney's okay there. It's after the period's over that he got his team in trouble.
Got to be careful of the North Stars scoring late in the period. In the first 3 rounds, they had scored 8 goals in all with less than 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go in periods.
Offsetting roughing penalties handed out by Fraser. 2:20 remaining in the second period. 2 big goals in this period by the Minnesota North Stars. And they have control of game 3. Holland comes to center. Shoots one end wide. Casey out. Cooks for Alec. Onto the boards for Gavin, who fell. He got back up quickly. And now Dahlquist. Backhands it high down the ice. 2 minutes left. Caglianetti is the defenseman back for Pittsburgh. And he'll carry the puck out. It was returned to him from center. Casey, the stick save. Another shot comes toward him, but it was knocked down by the defenseman and cleared out. Bureau comes with it to center. In over the line, he made a play for Duchesne. Back to Bureau. Couldn't center it. Duchesne shot it in back of the net. Bureau into the corner against Bob Erie, and Erie just did get out of the way. 1:30 remaining in the period. And it's Brian Glynn for Minnesota. Erie was going off. The play is called.
The Minnesota bench is screaming for a too many men on the ice penalty call against Pittsburgh. I don't think they're going to get it. You know, in the first 2 periods here, the Pittsburgh hockey team has looked too slow and too small. And I think we probably could have said that about the North Stars in game 2.
Look at tonight, how many hard hits has Pittsburgh initiated? Not very many at all, and they've been hammered time and time again. Bob Johnson, some of your foes wondering what to do. Well, there you see some history here in Minnesota with one of the championship banners that hang here at the Sports Center.
There's not a lot of them in this rink compared to the rink you spend a lot of time in every winter in Montreal.
It won't matter a bit, Terry, if there's one more hung when this one's all over.
Francis, Recchi, and Stevens, the line for Pittsburgh. Would love to get one before this period is done. It is nearly done. 1:21 left in it. 19-15 of the shots in favor of the North Stars. With a lecture to the 2 wingers. He has to drop the puck in, lining them up. They move back. Respectable distance, and Minnesota wins the draw, and it's cleared down the ice. Right to Barrasso. Gavin circled at the line and just missed it. Francis' pass went off his skate. And here's Brian Glynn. Shot it ahead, right in on the net. 1 minute left in the second period. 2-0 Minnesota. Murphy backhands the puck in. Off the boards to the left of Casey. After it was Recchi, but he was zipped. Murphy again backs up. Let's go all the way back before clearing it up along the right side at center ice. Norty had his man Stevens lined up, but he couldn't play the puck. 30 seconds left in the period. Murphy takes a quick look at the clock as he starts the play down to center. Shot all the way in, and Casey again is out to help clear it. They get it to the line and out. Adano is on the move, and Gagner carries in with him. Gagner shoots it, and it's deflected back to center. 10 seconds remaining in the period. It is Jagger going for the net, but the pass never did come. In around the goal, the North Stars hang on to it, and the period ends. As Barrasso gloves the high one. 7:21 of the period. Gagne from Lozano and Johnson. And then Smith at 7:54.
Industrial Tool Division of Black & Decker presents the industry's best circular saw with the industry's best circular saw offer. This professional palm sander free with every saw cat. The all-new saw.
The right price. Look for it wherever you buy beer.
Third period just underway. 2-0 Minnesota leading Pittsburgh. Dahlquist back of his own net. Really coughed it up in front of Casey. Dahlquist again. Up along the boards with it, and he got it out this time. Here's Tenorti moving up into the play. He shot it into the Pittsburgh zone. Murphy and Roberts trying to give it back to Murphy. The two defensemen, that nearly backfired. Groton stopped it. Tipped down the ice. No icing. So Casey plays it. Minnesota moving it in. Duchesne's long rising shot. Over the net and onto the glass. Samuelson upended. Put the pass out though. And it's Stanton coming in. Again, Stanton's shot. He missed the goal. Here's Jagr going into the corner. He's out in front of the net waiting for the pass. Slapped right into Casey, and he just covered on the short side. Going down to hold it. Only scoring in the game in the second period. 7:21. Gagne from Adano and Johnson, and then Smith with his 8th from Bellows and Dahlquist at 7:54. So 2 goals by Minnesota in 33 seconds.
Well, Pittsburgh's doing a better job of keeping the puck away from John Casey. They've tried 17 shoot-ins in the first 2 periods, and Casey's only got to 10 of them. But other than that, there's not a lot of good things to say about the Penguins. Offensively, they've been really out to lunch. Only 15 shots in goal, 10 by defensemen. Recchi, Mullen, and Jagr, 3 of their better offensive players, don't have a shot yet.
Here's Brian Trottier. He's checked. Gagne hanging on to the penalty coming up against Minnesota right in front of them. They score! Pittsburgh gets a goal on the delayed call. So the penalty will be wiped out, but I'm sure the Penguins want that goal, and they get it.
Well, Pittsburgh, who have been badly outplayed this whole game with 1 shot, are right back in the hockey game. A delayed penalty was on, but the goal was scored before the penalty could be called. Here comes the penalty right here on Glynn. Jagr throws it out from behind the net, and Phil Bourque, who's had all kinds of chances in this game, finally got one that got through Casey and just got to the back of the net.
Give Jagr credit for the extra effort down on the ice after being nailed for making the pass that led to the goal. 1-goal hockey game, 2-1.
We'll get that official scoring play for you in a moment. It's now 2-1 in Minnesota. Coming alive again, Bellows got it up to the line. Bellows again from center. Skates with it this time with room. The shot, Barrasso stopped it. Rebound was in front, but Roberts picked it up in front of his goaltender, and Mullen played it through center ice. Murphy is going up there again on the charge. Murphy's high shot, missing the net, and once more, 2 players come into the goal, and it's off the magnets.
Did you know that for 2 straight years, the Toyota Camry has been voted Family Circle's Import Family Car of the Year?
We knew that.
They knew that. In 1991 BC, man invented the wheel. In 1991 BC, Toyota invented the wheel.
Bob Johnson is one of 7 current NHL coaches over 50 years old. Bob's 60. Others in this select group: Muckler, Watt, McVie, Chambers, Nielsen, and Arbor. I'm cheering for all those old coaches.
123, the goal scored by Bourque from Jagr and Trottier. Making it 2-1. Here's Gavin. He's going right in. Rebound score. 3-1. Minnesota.
Duchesne picked up the rebound as Gavin made a great play to knock the pass down out of the air and got the first opportunity. It was a great stop by Barrasso. Here's where he got past Kevin Stevens, who was the back checker. Barrasso makes the save, and Taglianetti, I don't know what he was doing, but it's a beautiful flip pass from Broughton. Gavin gets away from Stevens. There's the stop. And then Taglianetti just let Duchesne go to the net. to put the rebound in. A defensive error that cost Pittsburgh Penguins a goal.
Time of the goal is 2:09. Duchesne from Gavin and Broughton. 2:09, 3-1.
People come to home for names they know.
All the brand names.
Real low prices.
And some very special savings.
Rubbermaid stacking chairs, perfect for the patio or backyard, are now just $11.99 each. And mono acrylic caulking is priced at just $3.33 for the 300 milliliter size.
Real savings at Home Hardware. I'm proud of my home.
Well, Gaetan Duchesne along with Stu Gavin are their checking wingers, and the checking line came through with a big goal. It was Stanton, not Taglianetti, that let Duchesne go to the net and slap the rebound in. And Bob Gainey's team in the playoffs, Dick, whenever the other team got close, they come back with a fast goal to put Pittsburgh in another difficult position.
Yes, they're down 2 again. So Roberts tries one. That's no problem for John Casey. Roberts couldn't keep it in this time. Stu Gavin is moving up on the puck again. Gets up near the line. He has to backtrack. Nearing the 3-minute mark of the third, it's a 3-1 Minnesota lead here in Game 3. Roberts and Murphy trying to move the puck. They get it up to the center ice zone, and here's Francis coming in. Dropped it back. Recchi went after it. Stevens had the pass into his skates. Back out for Bellows. Smith trying to go in. He's in there. He made the right move, but then just missed the far side. Smith back of the goal. Fighting off Roberts, who's without a stick. Got through Roberts' skates. And a puck cleared to center again. That is Glenn picking it up. Pittsburgh changing. Yager got in there in time to offset a pass. Now he gives it to Trottier. Back to Yager. Yager and Philbort with Trottier. Yager going for the net. He's knocked down. And back out for Minnesota, led by Bureau. Bureau shot in from center ice to the right of the net. Stanton there, plenty of time. Trottier took his man smartly, allowing Bork to go up as far as the Minnesota line, and he is dead. Johnson hit him. Here's Yager trying to stick handle around Wilkinson. The defenseman stopped him. Long pass, McRae. Shot block. Churla couldn't pick it up. It's out over the line again. Nearing the 5-minute mark now, the third. It is 3-1 Minnesota. Churla in bumping. McRae still on there, looking for somebody to hit, I'm sure. Murphy backtracks. Through center is Yager. Yager with the pass into Herdina, and they're offside off the Minnesota blue line. Duchesne from Gavin and Broughton to lay the score at 2:09, 3-1.
Shane Churla with McRae. They have played nearly every shift that they've played against Samuelson. Is that a coincidence, Bob, or a plan?
Mullen gets in front again, and a backhander into Casey as Pittsburgh stormed back with a couple of good chances. Mullen and Erie were very close, especially Mullen.
If I may answer that, Bob Gainey seems to be judiciously using his tag team champions tonight. They don't see that much action, but when they're on the ice, there is indeed action. It's been a big part of this hockey game.
And here's the opportunity. Mullen, who's got a good backhand, didn't get much on that. It was an easy stop for John Casey.
4:39 gone in the third period. 3-1 is the score. Minnesota on top of Pittsburgh. Series tied at a game each. Pittsburgh becoming a little more physical now at this part of the third period, trying to halt the North Stars. That's not easy, as Madonna is coming in again. He goes right on into the boards as he tried to hit Samuelson. Verdina takes over at center, headlands the puck to Mullen. Mullen is coming in the slot area. Took the shot, it's blocked by Tenorti, and he was knocked down. Stars shoot it in. Klopp lobbed it in there, now he's heading off as he sees. Roberts coming in. Backhands it in behind the net. Casey out of the goal. Stevens is on the puck. That's in front with a shot. Sharp angle. Casey always in position, hugging the post. Made that stop with the stick and then smothered it.
Well, Joe Mullen, who's had a couple of opportunities tonight to score and has missed, has been on the wrong end of a lot of hits, playing his 100th playoff game this evening. And here's an example of Tenorti. I mean, this guy, not only does he want to take you out, watch this. He doesn't want you to do this again. He hoists Mullen up and throws him to the ice. You love defensemen that do that.
Francis, this face-off with Pittsburgh is going to be brought for Minnesota. They're inside the line, and now Fraser has to have a chat with Duchesne.
Kevin Stevens coming over to change his stick, so we're going to be a while here before this face-off takes place.
All through this playoff year, the North Stars have developed, Perry, an uncanny ability to turn a potentially negative situation to a positive one with a quick goal. That last one came just 40 seconds after the 2-0 game had become a 2-1 game. Then it became a 3-1 game, just like that. It's unreal how they're doing that, time after time.
Minnesota controlling on the face-off. Duchesne slapped it out to Gavin. Gavin moving up to the Pittsburgh line and drove it into the corner. Buck is in there, but he's tied up. Duchesne comes in to help. And it's grabbed by Murphy. He skates out with it. Murphy from center. Didn't much on it. Cut it in over that line to the right of Casey. The North Stars were on it, moved it out. Duchesne brings it in. Duchesne along the right side into the corner. He's hauled down. And the puck squirts loose to Murphy. 3-1 Minnesota. Nearing the 7-minute mark. Francis is stopped. Stevens got in with Leckie, and Leckie was upended. He fell as he ran into Francis. Leckie on his feet again. Francis after the center of it. Right in front, and Stevens stopped by Casey. What a big save that was by Casey. He made it look easy. But again, he was in the right spot. Made no mistake. Shot right down to him now. Casey left is there. Down to the net for Wilkinson. Yager chased him. Smith, a little too slow, clearing it away. And Samuelson backs up. Now they've hit the 7-minute mark as Pittsburgh moves on it again. Pache comes in around the defenseman. Lobbed it through the crease. Nobody could get near it. Yager takes it around the goal. Smith chased him. Yager turned around by Smith. Gets the puck out front, and Bork fanned on it. Great work by Yager, but Bork just failed to hit it. And the play called. 2 penalties coming up here. Bork is going off along with Jim Johnson.
More power. More fuel efficient. More truck for your money.
Hi, I'm Kevin from Brown Chevrolet, inviting you to come down and test drive a top Chevy truck at Brown Chevrolet, 102nd and 17th, Dawson Creek.
In this All-American Stanley Cup final game, there are 2 American-born players now in the penalty box. Jim Johnson of the North Stars, Phil Bork of the Penguins, as they jostled, as that whistle went here a moment ago, so they're both gone, likely for high sticking.
Here's a great opportunity for the Penguins. Kevin Stevens, look at this. He doesn't have very much time. He's got to get it up to beat Casey on that, and he couldn't do it.
Speaking of haircuts, we saw a good one from a Penguins kid in Pittsburgh. How about that North Star? Green hair.
Johnson, a minor penalty for high sticking.
7:20, the time of the penalties. Offsetting minors again. Slashing and high sticking. Dahlquist around his own net. Had a tough time clearing it up the line of a stop. Yager getting in front. He's pushed back a bit, and the puck rolls out to center ice. Bellows gave chase. Now Yager takes the pass. In with Loney. Drop back. Shot by Stanton, missed the goal. Samuelson keeping it in. He gets a bump as he did. Bellows can't get it out. Now they shoot it off the boards down the ice. It'll go right on the net. No icing. And in behind the play, some swift pushing and shoving. Stanton and Bellows.
Well, Stanton and Bellows are going to get penalties. At least those two are, as referee Fraser is, I'm sure, starting to think that this game, the closer it gets to being over, the closer it gets to having a problem develop.
It's still 3-1, Minnesota.
Happy Motoring Canada. At Esso, we know that a successful station is built on service.
And it's still true today. Our people are specially trained. And we use independent customer surveys
to help set our high standards of service.
So if you think great service is a thing of the past, you should come into Esso and let us help you on your way.
Time of the penalties.
Now here they are, some happy North Star fans. Talk about the boy with the green hair. Title of a movie a long time ago, an MGM movie. Look at these guys. Oh, that's not their real hair. The kid we saw earlier did have one. They love it. A Minnesota friend of mine was telling me that politicians, local, state, and federal, have been body checking each other, trying to get into Norm Green's private box to be photographed there during these games after ignoring the team, of course, until the good things started to happen late in the season. It's the in thing to do right now in the Twin Cities area. Come to the North Stars game.
On the face-off, back to the blue line, and the long shot by Glenn is grabbed. A lot of people drove in here today. Hours and hours of driving from northern Ontario, from western Canada. Have the tickets and are here to see the game.
Dave Gagne's picked up a roughing penalty. There's two of them, I guess. Gagne's gone, and
Randy Gillen.
Okay.
They took the draw against each other, and after the draw, they got involved, and Kerry Fraser got him out of there.
Kerry's done a good job, as you were just mentioning, Harry, off mic, but you don't notice him out there tonight. This is the only time of the game when we start to get some of this chippy stuff going. And with the score 3-1 and 11:47 remaining.
Well, Gillen forgot for 1 second that he's responsible to take the offensive center. And there are two guys that are green with envy about the adulation that the North Star players are getting around the Twin Cities now.
8-13, these penalties. Shots 25-23 in favor of Minnesota. And the score, a 2-goal spread for the North Stars. Looking to take a 2-1 lead in the series. He was looking past in front of Barrasso, but they got it out. Just as quickly it comes back in. But it's on the offside. Prop, I think, ahead of Bureau, who was carrying the puck.
Well, while they boo the offside call, we are going to take a very quick trip down memory lane for you tonight. We go back 17 years ago, actually 17 years ago this afternoon, to the Philadelphia Spectrum when Rick McLeish scores a goal against the Boston Bruins, and the Philadelphia Flyers hang on to win their first Stanley Cup. Bernie Perron, the Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Buddy Clark accepting it from the late Clarence Campbell, and they become the first expansion team to win it. I was there with Bill Hewitt for Hockey Night in Canada. Gentlemen, that's one of the most emotional moments I've ever experienced when that game ended and the fans at the Spectrum celebrated.
How about at the start? Kate Smith was there with the big red carpet and started the proceedings.
She was wearing the red carpet? No.
What an afternoon that was. Coming up to the 9-minute mark of the third period. Stars 3, Minnesota 1, and here comes the penalty with Madonna decked. Samuelson is going off.
If you're in a hurry for a mortgage, Van City can give you the okay.
My snapper significantly enhances my sense of well-being. Of course, my snapper dealer was kind enough to offer a 14-day money-back test drive. The good man really stands behind his machines. So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional help. That's right. See your snapper dealer.
Anything less just won't cut it.
Available at Renco Equipment in Dawson Creek, BC.
Fraser for nailing Mike Modano, elbowing the call. He hung on to Modano to compound the problem. And he gets 2 minutes for an elbow at 8:53. The North Stars leading 3-1. They could put it away and wrap it up if they score here on the power play.
Dancing in the aisles tonight at the Met Center.
Bork for Pittsburgh. Duchesne for Minnesota here in the third period. And it's still a 2-goal spread nearing the halfway mark of the third period. The power play, Minnesota. A chance to really wrap it up. Shot down the ice. Crowd wanted another penalty, maybe.
Ron Francis coming to the bench, holding his left arm.
Chambers shooting one in. That's in back of the net. And it is, in fact, icing. He should have waited another second, did not. An icing call will come all the way back inside the Minnesota line.
Harry, the coaches and the players on the Pittsburgh bench were really up in arms against Fraser. There you see it there now. There's Skip Thayer, the trainer, adding his 2 cents worth, as the Penguins feel there should have been a penalty call, and whatever it was that happened to Francis, I did not see it.
Well, it must have been a slash of some sort.
That way.
Francis looks like he's going to be all right, but not very often you see the trainer disregard the injured player to give the referee a blast, but Skip Thayer was very upset.
I wonder how tired Ron Francis might be. I don't know what the record is for a single season player playing in league and playoff games, but tonight he's playing in game number 102. Played 81 regular season games because of the timing of the trade between Pittsburgh and Hartford. And this is the 21st playoff game. You've got Stevens at number 101, likewise Jagger, Bob Airy, and Brian Bellows each playing their 100th game tonight, regular season and playoff.
Francis has played a lot more tonight than he did in either game 1 or 2 with the absence of Lemieux.
1:18 left in the penalty. Minnesota up by 2 and looking for a little more spread, but not on this play. It's offside. McRae looking to pick it up and go in.
Now, Harry, answer me this. Here's Basil McRae, scored 1 goal this season. I don't know what he's got in the playoffs. About 1 more. And he's on the power play. Yeah, he's got a goal, which was a penalty shot goal in the playoffs.
He's going to the front of the net.
That's right.
And he's going to dare a Penguin to try and take him out. Gainey's bored with another playoff win, but look at him.
Incidentally, I know that her many friends across Canada will be very pleased to know that Kathy Gainey, Bob's wife, is at the game tonight and has been able to attend the North Stars playoff games and enjoying it and feeling pretty good.
And now 1 minute in the Samuelson penalty. Minnesota happy with a 2-goal lead and not really driving hard on this power play. This is another offside. Face-off at the Pittsburgh line.
Well, you know, Bob Gainey's got a great tradition going for him, 37 years of age, trying to be the 13th man to get his name on the Stanley Cup as both a coach and a player. He played on 5 Stanley Cup winners with the Montreal Canadiens. Won the Selke Trophy the first 4 years it was up for grabs. Interestingly enough, he played his first NHL game here in Minnesota and scored his first NHL goal against the Minnesota North Stars.
And he's one of two players whose name is misspelled once on the Canada Cup. I mean, the Stanley Cup. They left out the I on the '84 championship Montreal team. But they got it right when they won it again. Or sorry, 84 for him. Or 74. One of those 4 in a row ones he was big part of.
Take your pick, 76 to 79.
I was in there somewhere. They did misspell his name once.
Here he turned and fired a quick shot. Casey alert again. 30 seconds left of the power play. O'Donnell moving it up. Gets over the line. Hands it right in front of the net. Smith has to go around the goal with it. Back to the line it comes, and Girardi takes over. His shot off his stick. Dahlin for Smith. 15 seconds remaining in the power play. Dahlin back of the goal. Here's Modano there with him, close quarters. And into the corner again, and out for Modano to the line. Lynn shot, a high one. Rattles off the glass. The penalty is over. And it's cleared down the ice, but a Minnesota player, Dahlin, in front of the net down there. The Pittsburgh zone has been hurt.
No penalty on the play. The trainer comes out. Ulf Dahlin's had a very strong playoff. In the latter part of the Edmonton series and the early part of this one, he's been one of the better North Star players.
Left to the third period. 3-1, Minnesota.
Magic Wagon for 1991. The evolution of the minivan is now complete. Chrysler, all you have to do is drive one.
Well, here's the play on which we think Dahlin was hurt. Yes, he was cross-checked from behind as that shot went by. No penalty. You can see Kerry Fraser watching it. But Ulf Dahlin, who's a tough guy to get knocked over. Gordy Roberts knocked him down on that play, and Dahlin looks like he's all right now. Gainey's really upset that the Penguins are being allowed to make that last change after Fraser puts his arm up.
Minnesota tearing it out. Johnson got the pass up to Gavin, and he stopped near center. Offside at the Minnesota blue line.
Harry, without Mario, players like Ron Francis trying to pick up the slack, they have not any sustained pressure in this third period. They haven't even threatened to have sustained pressure. Perfect example there. They lose the draw. The North Stars clear the zone in a couple of seconds.
Well, the one thing that teams have to know how to do, and it's a skill in itself, is the ability to recover after the last game, get ready for the next game. And you would have thought that Pittsburgh would have been full of life coming off that second game win, but that's not true. The North Stars have out-hustled them as they did in game one.
Johnson fails to clear the zone. On the boards, it's Rucky, and he stopped. Gavin poking at it, got it out into the center ice area, and Stevens takes over for Pittsburgh. Put it right back in for John Casey. He slapped one to the right side. And Broughton couldn't get it out. Now rolls out to Shane, and Broughton stayed in. Shane rolled it in, and they make changes as Pittsburgh goes back for it. 8:05, remaining in the third. 3-1 is the score, Minnesota. Bellows in there for Dahlin. Shot stopped by Barrasso. Bellows on it again, but he was bumped this time. Bobby Smith grabbed it, but the play had been called. I don't think penalties have been handed out. A warning or two.
It was a sunny Monday afternoon in Edmonton, the year 1911, when the staff of GWG, the Great Western Garment Company, assembled to have their photograph taken. That That same photo is proudly displayed on the label of the new Great Western Garment Company jeans. These new jeans are sure to go places, but they'll never forget where they came from.
Now look at the North Stars bench. They have the 2-goal lead with 7:55 left in regulation time. And take your pick for the Olsen 3-star selection. There isn't anybody really dominant. I don't think we can pick Coach Gainey, but he's done a pretty good job tonight in the deployment of his troops.
Shots are 27-25 Minnesota. Pittsburgh. Down 2 goals and a long hill to climb. And this one. Solid again. Yager tried to trick him with a quick shot as he was getting back to the crease. Couldn't fool him though. Samuelson near center ice. Backs up, gets rid of it. Minnesota on it again. Bellows brings it in. His pass was picked off at the blue line. Then turns back to his line and just shot it in. Franche circles back through the middle for Loney. Loney and Yager in. That's easily broken out. And Roberts has to skate back quickly. Icing if he touches it, he does. Got there ahead of prop.
Gordy Roberts, veteran defenseman, played with the Minnesota North Stars the last time there was an All-American Stanley Cup final when the North Stars met the Islanders in 1981. Bob Johnson said today, Harry, the only thing that's upset him so far is this pay-per-view television. If people in the Minnesota area want to see this game tonight, it's on a pay-per-view setup. He doesn't think that's right, especially because his mother, who lives in an apartment in downtown Minneapolis, right near the baseball dome, her apartment is not hooked up, and she can't see the hockey game.
Roberts is one of 4 Pittsburgh Penguins who played a playoff game before this series against Minnesota. Coffey, Mullen, and Trottier. The others, only 2 for Minnesota. Never played a game against Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Propp and Dahl.
Murphy to Erie, and Erie shot it up over the line, and Pittsburgh offside again. Just unable to get anything going the way the North Stars begin that checking game now as this one winds down.
Randy Gillen wore number 19 last year, and in a nice gesture, when Trottier was signed by the Penguins, he gave his number 19 to Trottier, who's going to wear number 19 right into the Hockey Hall of Fame when he gets a chance. And that's a nice move by Gillen, and I'm sure much appreciated by Trottier.
A little under 7 minutes left in the third, and the slow pace is right up North Stars alley. 3-1 is their lead. They'll take a 2-1 lead in the Stanley Cup final as they continue to play like this and hang on to that 2-goal spread. Hot to the line. Erie knocks it down. Gagne on it. Now Mullen. Back pass. In over the line is Erie upended on the penalty coming up to Dahlquist. Dahlquist will go off. Thought it was a great hit.
I think that's a trip. It's a lot of hang time by Erie, though. The referee had a big space of time to make his mind up. Let's have another look at it here. Erie jumps. It's not the knee, it's the stick.
That's replay video material, that one.
Well, the North Stars in their 8 playoff games here, and they've won 7 straight. Before tonight's game have averaged 4.9 goals a game for, and only given up 2.4 against. And they are a little short of their average in both areas, goals for and against tonight, with this 3-1 score with 6:26 to go. The Penguins pretty well have to score on this power play to get back with another opportunity to tie the North Stars up.
Funny how the game goes. Completely outplayed tonight, Pittsburgh, in many departments. But now with a 3-1 lead, Pittsburgh have the man advantage, and they pop one here. Well, lots of time left.
Paul Coffey on. This is the 4th power play chance tonight for the Penguins. First in this period, they were 0 for 3 through the first 2.
Coffey is at the line, and Larry Murphy is his partner back there. The puck on the face-off goes into the corner. Minority took a look. He saw Francis come in. Easily got away from him. Coffey stopped it at the blue line. Francis along the boards. It's centered. And Murphy didn't get a chance to get a shot. Cleared down the ice. Lasso out for Murphy. 6 minutes remaining in the third period. 3-1 Minnesota, minute and a half on the power play. Pittsburgh move it up. Thrown into the corner, and the Chambers just simply turned and whipped at the length of the ice. Pompey back. He'd love to get some skating room to get pumping. Well, so far, so good. But he tried to hit Stevens and missed him. So Pompey gets back. Turns. All Coffey now to Francis over the line. Francis moving in. To the corner is Joel. He can't clear it. Duchesne might. It's another chance and a good effort by Duchesne to get it out. 55 seconds left in the Minnesota penalty. 5:18 in the third period. Coffey moving it up again. Recchi away from Bureau. He fell and Bureau takes the puck and again he shoots at the length of the ice.
A lot of individual efforts now by the Penguins instead of moving the puck quickly to try and get by this neutral zone forecheck for the North Stars.
Here's an individual effort that gets Murphy in to Mullen. Mullen on an angle. No way to go to the net. It's centered. Mullen got a shot away. Casey a big stop on that far side. Yager on the boards. Poked it in. It is centered. Murphy charging in. Couldn't shoot it. And Tenorti gets up as far as center and then just waits to Gavin. Gavin rolled it in. Well, got it high and over the net. 4:25 remaining in the third. The penalty has been served as Coffey comes in. Takes a shot. Drilled it right on and Casey to save. Pache behind the net. Missed his man. And Chambers shot it ahead. Dolan moving down the right side. In with a shot off the stick of Stanton. Samuelson looking for it. It is cleared out by Stanton to center ice with 4 minutes to play in the third period. Minnesota 3, Pittsburgh 1. Erie takes the pass. Moving in. Got away from one hit. And Bobby Smith caught up to him. And Glenn takes the puck around the net. He lost it. Casey reaching for it on the side of the net. And now Casey is going to end up paged for sure.
That's the second time in this series that we've had a goaltender. Who was it? Casey or Durasso the other night in Pittsburgh when the net fell that way. And with 3:37 left, we got the face-off now. Probably in the Minnesota zone. Here it is. This was the rink where they had a great replay of a Soviet goaltender during one of those exhibition games, and he was caught right underneath it. There's Casey. And not a fishing done in this state. Netting the fish. They netted the goaltender on that one.
Ryan Glenn eventually is the guy that knocks it off, number 6. And he's got a bear hug on Bob Erie.
Pittsburgh has pulled up in just one department in a hockey game, shots on goal. 29-27. Minnesota in charge of the score at 3-1. And 3.5 minutes left in the third. Loney is behind the net. So is Gillen. He centered it. And here he is dumped in the crease without getting a shot. Down across center ice, and that is called.
Pittsburgh's had a couple of opportunities on this power play. They haven't been beautiful passing plays, but in the scrambles around the net, Bob Erie's been in on 2 of them.
Well, Bob mentioned they've caught up on the shots. They've had 14 shots in this period. The North Stars have had 7, and here's that play at the goal crease.
Nice job by Dahlquist, number 4, to tie up Erie in the first place so he couldn't get a stick on it and then knock him down. And that picture there of a Pittsburgh Penguin forward going down in front of the North Star net has been one there have been plenty of tonight. And I'm sure John Casey will attest that he's had very few opportunities to stop second shots.
Puck is whipped back inside the line for Stanton with Samuelson. He waited too long, couldn't get the puck out. Gavin stopped him dead in his tracks. Samuelson around the net. Takes a out front and goes to the blue line with it, then played it to the right wing, and it's shot in high. To the right, the Minnesota goal. And that's going to the icing against Pittsburgh. Under 3 minutes left in the third period.
Awesome. Real good neutral zone forechecking by the North Stars to force the Pittsburgh team to throw it into the zone before they got to the red line. And that little system that Gainey's team has, if they can't get the forecheck going in the offensive zone, they delay it and put it on in the neutral zone. And they force bad shoot-ins. Of course, Gainey and his buddy there, Doug Jarvis, used to do that perfectly for the Montreal Canadiens, especially when they killed penalties.
Minnesota going into Pittsburgh and winning the first game. Pittsburgh took the second. Lemieux, the first star, not dressed tonight. Back spasm. Announcement coming just before game time tonight. I hope he'll be back for game 4. We'll be here 48 hours from now. And we invite you to join us. 3-1 is the score. This is an easy save for Casey. He'll hold it.
These teams were part of the, you want to call it, original expansion of the NHL, and the league went from 6 to 12 teams for the 67-68 season. On the left of your screen, there are the 6 teams that joined the NHL. One of them, the Oakland Seals, no longer in existence, but here's how they have worked as far as playoff finishes are concerned. And they've all reached the Stanley Cup Finals except the Los Angeles Kings. And for the Penguins, this is a first. For the North Stars, this is their second trip for the final step toward the Cup.
And the crowd in a joyous mood. 2:42 left in the third. It's good to see a win. Looks like they have it. As the clock winds down, and Dahlquist shot the puck to the left side. It's going to be another icing. And you can expect a lot of this now if Pittsburgh can get anything going. Minnesota's first choice is to get that puck out.
Well, our sharp-eyed or sharp-eared stats man, Michael Neal, definitely a relative of Harry, has pointed out to me that Oakland, which is no longer in existence as Oakland, became Cleveland, which is no longer in existence as Cleveland, which became part of the Minnesota North Stars in a merger.
And they nearly went no longer existence to sign their name.
Exactly.
The sports fans here in the Twin Cities that are going to be spoiled rotten this year. The Super Bowl's going to be here this year. The U.S. Open in 2 weeks. The Final Four NCAA basketball tournament this coming March. And, of course, the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. So if you're a sports fan and you live in this community, you've spent a lot of money going to big-time events.
He kept it onside and got a shot away, but it's off a stick and away wide of the net. Pittsburgh pressing a little bit here. Into the corner, Trottier, Barloni, and Smith tied him up. Yager went in looking for it, fighting along the boards. Yager poked it loose for Trottier and Phil Bourque. And Bourque couldn't keep it in. Out of the net comes Barrasso. 2 minutes left. Bellows is in there. Barrasso doesn't know which way to go. He decides to leave it for Bourque. Dahlin watching him. Pass to Loney. Loney's high shot goes in off to Doherty. Bellows got a backhander up on the boards and couldn't move it out. Bobby Smith will. Waited too long. They caught him. But Tenorti will move it up. And a pass ahead. Dahlin coming in on the backhand, and Barrasso an easy save. Minute and a half left in the third. Yager through center ice and coming in. Yager is passed to Trottier. He backhands it off the boards to the left of the net. Yager back, but the Minnesota player, Chambers, fell on it, and the play is stopped with 1/3 team remaining, and the crowd gets up on its feet again.
Yeah, the standing O is beginning, and I would imagine it will build as this game winds down. Now there's a look at the broadcast crew. The three fellows in the white shirts are the announcers. The important man on the right of your screen. Hang on, Mike, get in there. This is Mike Neal, son of Harry, who's had the job of keeping us straight with facts and figures, which Harry, as you know, is not an easy job with the three of us, but he's done an excellent. I think we'll bring him back. Mike, you're hired again for 2 nights from now.
Well, these fans, most of them will be back, that's for sure. They can grab a ticket. I never cease to have been amazed in the playoffs how young these fans are. Look at this one, giving us a couple of moves that none of the Pittsburgh Penguins could come up with this evening so far. And here are the Beach Boys. They rolled in from Lake of the Woods. This is a great place to be if you're a North Star fan.
He's back in Pittsburgh. Attending to his law practice.
25, Kevin Stevens, a 5-minute major for spearing and a game misconduct, assessed at 1847. Stevens, a spearing major and game misconduct, called at 1847.
So another spear occurred after a stoppage.
Cordy Roberts got one in Game 2 right near the end. Kevin Stevens this evening.
Comes with 1:13 left in the third period, and Minnesota that far away from taking the lead of the series again. They won Game 1 in Pittsburgh. The Penguins took Game 2. They had a great performance by Mario Lemieux and Barrasso. Chambers up the center, flipped it in for Prop. Samuelson holding it with a skate, and the play stopped.
Well, Kerry Fraser's done a pretty good job tonight at letting the players play. And in the third period, when he recognized the possibilities of this game getting a little out of hand, has been a little stiffer with the penalty calls. But I don't think either coach has got a complaint tonight with the striped shirt of Kerry Fraser and his two linesmen.
Gagne won the draw. Chambers gets his shot on goal. Rebound. Barrasso had to make another save on Gagne. Now Glenn drives one. That just hit the side of the net. Another penalty coming against Pittsburgh, I believe. It'll be snapped in behind the net. He hit Gagne. Whether they'll both go or not, I don't know, but Stanton is going to go.
Well, it's a double penalty. Barrasso gave Gagne a little cuff with his goal stick. I wonder if that was the call and not on Stanton, but Kerry Fraser's over-reporting the penalty now, slashing.
35, Tom Barrasso for slashing. Time of the penalty, 19:21.
19:21. He did all the talking to Stanton. I guess Stanton was arguing, no, he should not get a penalty, and he is going.
Well, it was a slash, I'll tell you. No doubt about that.
Oh, we saw Minnesota lose their poise a little bit near the end of Game 2 when they were losing by the score of 4-1, and the same things happened here to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
And now the standing O is really underway.
I think they're up on the roof. Minnesota, 35 seconds away from a win. Long shot, Barrasso stopped that. It was deflected in front of him. The shot by McDonald.
Well, when they're voting for the Molson's 3 stars, I think that they have to give Tom Barrasso one. He is the one Pittsburgh player that has kept this team close enough to mount a comeback. And the Penguins, who seem very punchless offensively, haven't been able to do it. But their goaltender's given them lots of opportunities. He's been excellent tonight.
30 seconds left. Gagne again. Tried to pass it back. Donald the other way to Broughton. Into the corner is Bellows, and Pop is the other forward. Stopped by Broughton at the seconds left. He handed around on the outside. Badano was waiting there for one, and he gets it. High shot, knocked down, rebound. And Barrasso again stopped a high shot, and then another one off the rebound.
Well, the kind of thing that Harry predicted would start to happen. This coming with just 7 seconds left. Ryan Bellows being restrained. And this isn't a very good way to end this one. It is over as far as the score and the winning team is concerned. Somebody threw a puck from the crowd, and it went in behind Tom Barrasso into the net. Well, that gets a cheer.
Well, Bellows has gone to the dressing room to try and make sure there's no other problems here. The fans are going to really start to throw stuff on the ice as the Penguin players are shooting it back up into the crowd.
Danielson. Well, I'll tell you, Harry, I was in here on the 15th of January with 5,000 people sitting in here, and it was just dead silence almost all night. This was my first trip since then to the Sports Center. And listen to all of this. It's just unreal.
Now, the North Stars will be 2 goals away from the Stanley Cup. There's Mr. Green signing autographs, posing for photographs, kissing children.
He's running for office.
He could win any office he wanted to now. I don't know whether he can sell this kid a season ticket, though. I know he's a top salesman, but that boy's only 8 years old. There's the new logo, by the way. The North Stars will be sporting next year on their uniforms. They'll be called the Minnesota Stars. They've thrown the North south.
Well, if they win the Stanley Cup, they'll be stars. They'll have a better reason to be called that.
Bobby Smith, 7 seconds in the game left. He scored his 5th game-winning goal in the last 7 North Star playoff victories. You could call him the Bo Derek of hockey because in the clutch, he's a number 10.
Well, with Pittsburgh 2 short, 2 goals down, they'll have to wait for another game.
Look out.
This one is over, but is it over?
Well, the Penguins have 2 fewer players than the North Stars, and Mullen's coming out of the penalty box. And if he gets involved, there'll be big-time trouble. The game is not over till the referee gets one team out of here.
Bob Airey was the catalyst in all of this. He pulled on somebody from behind. Now the fans react that the game is over. And that was close to getting ugly. Bobby Smith would like to get one more winning goal, Harry, to equal what he did in Montreal in '86 when he got the Stanley Cup winning goal in Game 5 that year against Calgary. He's got the knack, as you say.
Well, Mullen came out of the penalty box. His penalty was not over and almost got involved. And it's a good thing somebody grabbed him and got him out of there. He could be in some trouble as far as the future games in the playoffs. The Minnesota North Stars 3, Pittsburgh 1.